Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's that time of the week for Fates United! Hello, everybody! Good to be back. My name is Michael Bardicdice. I'm your dungeon master for tonight. How's everyone doing? I'm so glad to be back streaming again for our wonderful Fates United game. Wonderful, our weekly homebrew D&D game. If you are new to the channel, we have our old games on YouTube and VOD for you to watch. And we also have some other fun channels and things as well going on. Hello, John. But thank you all for being here. I'm so glad to see everybody in the chat. I love seeing you guys again. Thank you all so much for your continued support. I love having you guys here. And so excited to get into tonight's game where we get to visit some places very dear to our characters' hearts. That being said, we've got a few announcements for tonight. As always, if you are new to... Sorry guys, my OBS is a little set up different, so working around things. But if you are new to the channel, if you're new to all of this, if you like what we do here, consider following us on our socials to get updated on any changes, new projects coming up, exciting news, retweets of people's amazing arts. We have a whole lot of fun there. And that being said, we also share a Discord with the wonderful Marquee Gaming, which you'll hear about shortly. And we have just an absolute amazing community of friends, D&D nerds, Star Wars nerds, anime nerds, creative people with art, minis, Photoshop, Illustrator, everything you want under the sun for creativeness and nerdiness. It's such a wonderful community to be a part of. So when we're offline and not streaming, come and hang out. We might even argue about sandwiches and tacos. You don't know. But yeah, so we have a lot of fun doing that. And also, guys, Bardicdice is now an Epic Games partner. So if you like any of the games that are up on the website of Epic Games, like Kena Bridge with Spirits, which I'll be streaming and have been, Far Cry 6 that just came out, Fortnite, or Alan Wake Remastered, which are some of the big games that are out there right now. If you can use the code Bardicdice to help support the channel as well, which is really kind of fun and crazy. So thank you guys so much for helping me get to that point. Also, big news, a new campaign. DiceAntics will be presenting a second campaign. We'll be going through The Wild Beyond the Witchlight, the brand new Feywild module campaign the Wizards of the Coast just came out with. We'll be doing this next Wednesday, I believe. Yes, starting next Wednesday. So it'll be Wednesday night, same time, same bat channel, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got Deely, our own, Meikai, who will be in that one as well. Brittany, Sassy Fire. We got Nick, who is BTD RPG. Jod Mike from Silent Legend, Fisk, the one, the only literary _DM, and Angie at Angel _Johnson. So I'm super excited for you guys to meet those characters and have a different type of story. This is homebrew. This is more module based, but this one's also a little bit more whimsical and fey. So it's going to be a super fun time. So not that you have to catch every single one, but those will also eventually be going up on YouTube if I can get on a better schedule. So, look for those on the VOD and YouTube as well. Another announcement. So with Critical Role 3, the campaign, their third campaign starting up on October 21st. That's 2 weeks from now. We will still be having Fates United on that Thursday. However, most likely I'll be stopping this game a little early at 10 p.m. instead of 11 p.m. Just so that we can go host it and watch the live reveal of their new campaign, their new characters, things like that. Because I know myself and quite a few people that watch the show like to go watch Critical Role as well. So after that, though, going forward, we will resume our normal play time until 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So look forward to that. We can have a fun little community night in our Discord, watch it together if you guys want. So, whew. That being said, that's all the announcements I got. Let's go ahead, as normal, and introduce all of our wonderful players.
Hi, I play Meikai. My name's Deely. I also do art on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, provided that there's not a giant storm that's gonna happen that makes me cancel. Sorry about that this week. But yeah, I've just been doing a lot of art stuff, and it's super fun. So come and hang out. I've been really into doing a lot of character design for lately, especially. So I'm really excited because I did the character art for the Witchlight, which I'm super excited for. So that's been really fun. So just that kind of stuff. And it's spooky month, so it's always fun. So just plan on lots of like Halloween-ish kind of centric things. So yeah.
Boo. Halloween, spooky stuff. Cool. And next one going on.
Hi, my name's Pip/Rachel. I play Anais, a ranger / cleric. And I stream on Marquee Gaming. I stream games on Saturday nights now at 7 CST. I'm going through Dragon Age Inquisition. So that's a good time. And then I also stream art on Mondays at 3:30 CST. Who knows what I'll be drawing? I don't know. I kind of took October for myself a little bit, even though I still have some projects. Oops. But, you know, mostly it's for me. So you might see a little more self-indulgent art this month instead of my normal commissions. So it's a little different. But yeah, come hang out with me. It's fun.
I guess we're fine with it. Whatever.
Darn it.
Making it in the nick of time. Going down below. He's muted.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm also known as Dealey's husband. Sorry, I ran a little late from work, but glad to have still made it on time. I am excited for tonight and excited to be here with everybody. And I apologize for rushing around trying to figure things out, but we got everything pulled together. And definitely go see everybody's channels. You got Mark and Rachel and their campaigns and art stuff, and Dealey as well with her art stuff, and Bardicdice also got other things going on, and just enjoy all of it. And we have so many people in the chat who come and visit us who also do stuff, so if you get a chance to see them, definitely check them out.
The hype king. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And I am Mark of Marquee Gaming.
Woo!
Hi, everybody. So yeah, we do our D&D game on Sundays with Mike in that as well, and it's a good time. So you should come hang out for that. It's intense. It's intense.
I don't think he's relaying the intensity of the intenseness of Beacon's Aura.
This is my general normal hype level, but this is very hype for me.
This is way up here.
So come check it out. It's great.
I feel
Also
like the
go-
level above that is when you just say feed me a lot about lore, then that's more hype.
Yeah. I also say
That was the most hype I've ever seen. Mark was like, oh, I got like a whole timeline. Okay, yeah, let's go. I'm like, whoa!
Yeah. So still sitting on that one, but yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely go see Beacon's Aura. It's Sundays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 p.m. Central. Super, super fun. And also quick shout out tonight as well. Definitely check out literary_DM. He will be playing in the Feywild campaign. But go check out his channel, his socials. He has a big Zelda campaign coming up next year, and there's going to be a lot more announcements coming up for that. So go check his out as well. And we have a whole lot of other streamers as well on the channel. So go definitely check that out. That being said, if you weren't here last week, you're in for a great surprise. I'm super excited. This is like my favorite moment of the stream. We can just end it after this.
Yeah.
But with all the announcements out of the way, let's get into tonight's game of Fates United.
Pull on threads of fate, strings of time, metal clash as they climb. Champions of the sky, sun, moon, ocean, ally. Seek the path where darkness hides, corrupting all the good inside. They will travel the hard way, igniting light through the untamed. Wilderness won't disguise the elements sent to destroy the fragile weave of destiny. Just one of the many evils sent to break the world. Protect them as legend unfolds. Pull on threads of fate, strings of time, metal clash as they climb. Champions of the sky, sun, moon, ocean, ally. Seek the path where darkness hides. Bring light to where evil abides. Come on, roll the dice. Zeros take the fight.
Welcome back, everyone, to Fates United. Tonight, as we enter back in, we return to our older man on the hill, weathered from time, adventure, from stress, from the things that he has seen in his adventures. As he looks up over the coastline, the forest and mountains to his left, over towards Solisterum and Giant's Bane, a simple wave of his hand. Then all of a sudden, the forest that lies over on the other side of the river begins changing, growing, as if watching nature in its full display on fast forward. He watches it go from a beach line, clear, beautiful sand, water lapping up on the coast, to the rocky earthquakes that created the mountainscape. Slowly, green, luscious fields of forest and plains that grow far and beautiful beyond it. In the distance, suddenly a giant flash of blue and green erupts over the sky, as a volcano in the distance erupts. And slowly you can see the greenage of the plains begin to fade and turn brown to dust and desert. There in the mountains, at the base, the construction of Giant's Bane, its large castle-like features growing rapidly as in fast motion capture. And then shortly after, in the mountains, over the northern ridge, a city of buildings, wooden, rising of peace and solitude, Solisterum. And then over some time, fire. Smoke that rises and billows up forth over the tree line. Behind it, along the coast, a dark, tremulous storm riding the coastline until it reaches the Centaurium. With a sorrowful look, the man drops his hand, and as if everything was put back in place, the storm fades from view. The results of the Centaurium and the scar that lie upon it return, and the smoke on the mountainside disappearing, the great tower of Solisterum gone from sight. Old memories of pain, of home, come to you, my dear Stenais. I hope you find your solace in your compatriots. To those that will learn trust and that you can rely upon. Your pain will grow into strength and the hope that the world will need to connect to and revere to. May all of you find some moments of peace before the real storm begins. And that is where we enter back to Giant's Bane, a quiet night where our chosens have spent a little bit of time getting to know the new town of the halfling city, aptly named Giant's Bane, that where they have kind of expressed that in their times of fighting off the elves, they have built a giant fortress, and recently, especially after the attack to Rosewood, have kind of found themselves in solitude behind the walls. You guys have met various members of the council and those Gerbis and his son that help you buy a few items and get you a few trinkets along the way, though some a little bit more fiery than others. However, all four of you begin to awake in the morning as the smells of bacon, hot apple cider porridge, potatoes, and mead all begin welcoming your nostrils and waking you up from slumber. The alarm has not gone off during the night. Anais, you find yourself awake. Bricarius is gone. Seems that the door is slightly ajar, that he might have already gotten up for the day. The rest of you all awaken, and you can hear outdoor the movement of everyone starting to wake up grab food, get to work, whether it's textiles, whether it's lumber, whether it's harvest or livestock, all within the walls or underneath canopies that shield them in defense if they have to go outside of it. You can see, as you look out the curtains in the window, the barge starting to get brought in, and the wood that you guys brought up starting to be processed one at a time. What do you guys do?
I think I'll just go downstairs and get breakfast.
Okay. You head on down. Is anyone else heading on down, or is anyone else doing anything separate than grabbing breakfast and getting prepared for the day?
Get my sisters ready and put down for breakfast.
I'll also bring the book that I have with me that Car gave me, because I've been reading that, so I'll just bring that too. Not really expecting much conversation in the morning, but
Sure. You kind of head downstairs. You see Mr. Rosebottom down there, who was the bartender and kind of the innkeeper. He had made a supple, almost twice as much as dinner meal, and you see sweat beating down and a determination in his eye, almost to outbest Kahu. It looks like a competition this morning. But you can find yourself, he kind of waves to you, and there's a selection of the finest drinks and many different cocktails and ciders, and your selection on the bar, as if he's putting on a grandiose show. Zachary, as you wake your sisters, Katrina gets up quickly. Iris is having a little bit of trouble and is kind of just laying there, wide mouth, a little drool heading off as it takes a little bit more to wake her up, but she's kind of fighting you, like, 5 more minutes, please.
I'll let her lay for a little bit, but when we all go down, she's coming down. So
She kind of just hides the
Literally
blanket
5
underneath.
minutes.
Yeah, by the time you guys all come down, you and Katrina are well groomed, well dressed. Iris kind of still has bed hair. She did like the quick comb over and like a little wet it, but she didn't have enough time to get as prepped as you guys did. Anais and Kahu, what are you guys doing?
Kahu will go through his normal morning rituals of exercise and stretches and head downstairs to get some food.
Perfect. All 4 of you, as you head down, give me perception checks. As you look throughout the room, you don't quite see Bardicdice, but you'll start looking out the window.
Nat 20. 29.
Holy moly.
21.
11.
8.
Kaho, your attention as you start coming down, you just begin to look out the window, and then all of a sudden your nostrils flare as your eyes turn towards the glorious, epic battalion of food that is left out before you. Your grumbly stomach takes over as you quickly, definitely head over. Zachary, you're a little bit more distracted by the girls and, again, kind of getting them set up for breakfast. Meikai, you look out the window, you see Bardicdice across the street talking to Gerbus before the building that says Sneed, Seed, and Feed, formerly known as Chuck's, underneath it. And Anais, you specifically, as you're still upstairs and looked out the window, you could see them. You can actually hear their conversation with your freaking nat 20. As Bardicdice begins, just, friend, I mean, I completely understand. I mean, you don't need to do all of this. I just was asking for some sort of maybe device where if I could stand, if I need to do anything with the wheelchair, it's a little bit more. And he goes, oh, please. No, what we could do something where you can get legs and it can help you walk with it. Or maybe even like a golem to carry you around. We could do it. Please. Come on. Me and my son can get together, work on it. I don't mean to put you out. I just want to find a way to be of assistance a little bit more for the sisters and all them when I can, and to help out for this group, as I, feel a little useless, but I'm sure you understand. And Gervis goes, oh, of course, come in. And kind of brings them into the shop as they continue to talk maybe a little bit more of what you gather, different ways to maybe either assist him with not being able to walk or ways to help train him to be able to walk through some sort of magical or mechanical device.
Okay. Yeah, I probably watch that and just like smile a little bit and then go downstairs.
Sure. All right. You guys all are downstairs. It is just you all in the tavern. It seems that everyone else had kind of gotten up slightly before you. They had all, if anyone had come to the tavern to grab food before, they have all left and worked. Or some of you get the idea that maybe Rosebottom had sent them away as he didn't want them to dig into the potential food stacks that were designed for Kahu. But until Kahu comes back, what are you guys doing?
Just eating and reading. And there's Kahu.
What about you two?
Dog duties.
Oh, of course.
Yep,
No
just eating
worries.
breakfast.
Yeah.
All
Nothing
right.
in particular to talk about, I feel like.
As the rest of them are eating and quietly waking up in the morning, Kahu, I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw as you Dragon Ball Z Goku through this food.
Do it.
I rolled natural one.
Oh,
You find yourself about a quarter of the way through this food, realizing dinner hasn't quite digested yet. Not that you don't think you could handle what's before you, but about a quarter of the way through, you realize you're going to get sick to the stomach if you continue eating. Do you push through? Or do you call it quits as Rosebottom is kind of intently behind the bar watching you? It is a contested roll, just to let you know.
your honor is on the line.
I'm going for it.
I need you to make a Constitution saving throw with disadvantage now.
I'm gonna like lean away a little bit.
This guy is rolling good. He's probably up all night.
11.
You guys look outside, and there's even a still burning ash outdoor oven where a large pig is only halfway carved through. As you can see in here, how you continue to grind through, and you're now about halfway through when you have to keep it down. You can literally not force another bite in. Unfortunately, buddy, breakfast defeated you today as he rolled a 19 on his preparations.
Nice.
Kahu, are you okay?
Oh, I just ate a lot last night, and there's a lot here this morning, too.
Yeah, but it was good though, right?
Absolutely. I want to bring some with me if I can.
You see him just almost like champion in like, I won, almost as if he won a battle or something. You see him begin to take the extra foods that all of you had stopped eating minutes ago and were just in rapture watching Kahu eat on his own. A few people here and there coming in, grabbing a bowl here and there, but Rosebottom ended up rolling and what's the word, like tying up a lot of meats and rations for you. Ended up getting a few help, and you guys look as your carriage is actually filled with quite a bit of food that will hold you guys over for a few weeks at least.
Well, I'll put some of the stuff in my bag of holding,
Sure.
not just cookies.
That's fair.
I
That's
do
fair.
like those, though.
Yeah, not with the way that you're throwing up.
I
Or
haven't grown up yet.
if you ate a cookie, I think you would.
Well, later.
Go run like a lap or two around the town.
So are you just throwing those items into the bag?
Well, I'm probably like wrapping them up in whatever, and then yeah, putting some in the bag.
Sure. Okay. Sounds good.
I was going to go do a lunging lap around the town.
Is there something I need to be doing instead?
Nope, you're fine. So yeah, you end up taking your lunging lap kind of to help digest and help it through. There's definitely a few times you have to stop and breathe it out a little bit before anything happens, but you're okay. You're all right at the moment. But you're gonna be full for a while for sure. Especially with that nat one. You might have a little bit of a tummy ache for a while. All right. Zachary, give me an Arcana roll. As you see Meika, are you proficient in Arcana?
No.
Anyone else proficient in Arcana?
I got 16.
I think I am. Hold on. Oh, I'm not. Just kidding. I thought I was. Sorry.
Zachary, as you start looking over that bag, something doesn't feel right about it. It doesn't come off at the same school of magic that you would expect some sort of bag of colding to. It seems a little bit more mischievous.
Oh no.
Okay, can I see your bag for a second?
Sure. Hand it to him.
I'll ritually cast Identify on it.
Sure. I will send you
Mimic.
what you have identified.
Right.
There you go. You have the full
So small.
specs of this. It is actually a little bit.
I'm trying to read all this.
So, Zach, you see Zachary
I like
kind
to
of studying
imagine
over
Zach
it.
is squinting at the bag, just like he's
Yeah, like
squinting at
reading
the
like a
screen.
whole bunch of like arcane runes that suddenly seem to flash up from it in purple and like almost small little fine print writing, as you're kind of reading this.
Is everything okay?
I'm gonna like hold up a finger, just like lean in close and whisper something to it.
Sure. What do you whisper?
Well, I'll send it to you.
Sorry, guys. Whispers.
And we hear the whispers
So
because
worked out.
Anais listens outside.
I need everyone to give me a perception check besides Zachary.
14.
23.
Kahu's gone, right? He's doing lunges, right? Are you back already, or are you still walking the town?
Well, I rolled a 20. I 50-50 shot if I'm back or not.
Sure. Over 10, you're back. Under 10, you're not.
Over 10, I'm back. Under 10, I'm not. 18, I'm back.
Sure. As you come walking in and start seeing Zachary squint and then seem to whisper something to this bag of colding that Mekai bought, you just hear this a grunt come from the bag.
What? Is this bag possessed?
Easy.
Just be careful with it.
What is that supposed to mean?
So this is Bob.
Aye.
Bob's a super cool bag of holding. You should try to be nice to Bob. I'm looking back to you.
Anais signs, there should be more explanation than that.
That's
What?
all you need.
What do you need explanation for? I'm a bag of colding that doesn't like to do what it does.
Why not?
Do you want to be a bag of colding and people stuff things in you?
I won't put anything in you if you don't want.
I'm full of meat right now.
I can
Me
empty
too,
it all
buddy.
out.
Me too.
I can
That's actually pretty funny, but whatever.
I can take it all out if you want. I'm sorry you didn't talk to me earlier.
He just opens his mouth.
I'll just empty out. I didn't put that much stuff in there.
Roll a d12 when you do that.
1.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Sassy Fire, thank you so much for sending me this item. I love you so much.
As soon as she starts to jump, I'm backing up.
Zachary's grabbing the sisters, like quickly grabbing them from you. You all just kind of give a look over and he goes, oh, no, not that one. And then all of a sudden, as you see a few meats come out, the bag of holding just splits open as a hippopotamus the size of the whole table just comes launching out of this bag. Well, you did it now. Everyone roll me initiative. Was not expecting that to happen. I was saving this for later. I forgot you had identify. All right. 5E, hippopotamus.
If this kills us, I'm gonna kill you.
Stats. It's on D&D Beyond, right? Yeah. Oh, that's a hippogriff. Well, you never said Giant's Bane wasn't a trip. Automus. There is nothing on D&D Beyond. Okay. That works. We'll go with this one. All right. Fantastic. Cool. What'd you guys roll?
11.
All right.
14.
Hold on.
24.
Put this somewhere so I can track it. All right. What was that? Makai 11.
11.
A nice what? 24.
24.
Dang. All right, girl. You're on it today. Kahu?
13.
13. All right. Zachary.
14.
14. All right. This hippopotamus looks absolutely terrified and confused. Bob's just like, all right, and just kind of, you see a little bit of tear at the bag of holdings throat as he just kind of slumps back and is grumpily speaking to himself. All right, Anais, you're up as the bartender goes, what is going on? And just jumps out of the window out of the building.
Can it fit through any doorways?
It does not look like he could fit through a doorway, no. It's quite a large beast. You can give me an insight if you want.
Well, can I just like snatch up the bag of holding and try to put it back in? So we can end this
You can
before it begins.
You can attempt to. I can tell you the hippopotamus is way bigger than the bag.
Well, it came out of the bag.
It did.
so-
That is true.
Does not look like it's gonna fit back in.
Okay, well, I'll roll insight then,
Sure.
like you said. 11?
Yeah, you've never really dealt with hippopotamuses before. It's hard to read.
Okay. Can I see if I could try and just calm it down so we don't have to fight it?
Sure. Give me animal handling.
11.
11. What are you trying to do to calm down a hippo? He pop anonymous.
Treating it like a horse, basically.
Like, whoa, whoa. Okay.
Yeah, just like, you know, doing like.
Except you can't really. Okay, that's fair.
Not talking, but
Yeah.
like, you know, holding like
Sure.
the side of its face or something, just being like, calm down, type of motions.
Fair. Okay. Not quite sure what kind of effect it has. It seems to be quite jittery and terrified at the moment. But we'll see if it has any effect. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
So you're up on it though, right? Okay. Fair enough. Anais, that's your turn, Zachary. You got your sisters behind you. Anais has kind of gone up trying to horse calm down this hippo.
I am going to just create a thaumaturgy effect of like rumbling and thunder sounds next to me and my sister to attempt to make it run towards the door.
Sure.
And try to break out or get out somehow. So nowhere near my sisters.
What kind of roll do you want to call this?
I don't know. Performance, Arcana, something.
I'll let you choose.
No, okay. They're the same thing, so. That would be 20 total.
20 total, yeah. What kind of sound are you? Just like a rumbling or like a roar? What's going on?
So, I got rumbling happening for sure. On the side away from the door.
Sure.
So, it would hopefully run towards the door. And like growling sounds and
Sure. Just trying to terrify it.
Thunder sounds, like anything to just make it scared and run the other direction.
All right.
Window or door. I don't care how it gets out of here, just away from my sisters.
You see this beginning to quite definitely have a different effect that Anais was going for, as they seem to be having conflicting elements to it. If that's your turn, Kahu, you're next.
I'm going to use a bonus action to use my giant's might.
Sure.
I'm going to walk up to it.
Okay.
And I'm going to attempt to grapple it.
Alrighty then.
Thought the ceilings were low already. Oh no.
If I can't expand.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. Luckily he doesn't expand.
I gave the advantages.
Because there was about to be a Kahu head through the second floor. But I did remember the Rune Knight stuff. Yeah, as you see him kind of bulk up a bit, kind of that Dragon Ball where it's like you go to Super Saiyan 2, but it's not like the right form. But you don't grow in any height or anything. You go to attempt to grapple this big old beast from behind. Go ahead, roll me a grapple check. Give me an athletics roll. 28. That's actually really good.
Really good.
Remind me, grapple's not a saving throw, it's just a check, right?
Correct.
The other guy. All right. As you go and it tries to wiggle away, especially trying to get away from the sound. Anais is in front, seeming to try and calm it down, but you're able to somehow grab one of its stubby little legs and kind of hold it from running away from you, as you now have it grappled and it's not able to run.
And then I'm going to use the rest of my movement to drag it towards the door.
Okay. I will say you get right up to the door. Its head starting to poke out, but its body is a little bit wider than the door itself, as you begin to continue to drag it towards it.
So its head is through the door at least?
Its head is through the door. You hear a couple screams and "What is that?" from outside. Big ruckus and a couple bells starting to happen.
I'm going to use an action surge and attempt to pull it through the door.
To pull it through the door. Okay.
I want to drag it as far as I can through the door.
So are you grabbing it from the front or from the back? Because I was assuming the back. Are you grabbing one of its front legs instead?
Well, and then I'm pushing it through the door if I'm behind it.
You let me know. You can either rotate, you can push it, however you want to do it.
We'll say I'm pushing in this case.
Pushing, okay. Okay. Oh.
We've got a Pooh Bear moment happening at the moment. I'm aware.
Yeah.
Thinking that.
Oh, bother. Go ahead and give me just a strength roll. I think you have advantage because you're giant. It's disadvantage because the door's not big enough, so we'll say a flat roll.
Oh, okay. You want a flat roll?
Yeah.
Just strength.
Athletics is fine.
Athletics 16.
16. I don't really know if I should give a door a strength check or just a DC. I'm thinking just a DC. As you begin to push, the bending of the wood and the frame starts to crack and bulge and bend. You feel like you're really, really close from pushing this hippo out. Very close. If I understand correctly, though, I think you have multi-attacks, right? Can't you?
Yes.
Isn't each attack potentially a push?
I believe you can push twice, yeah.
Go ahead and try it again. Pretty sure there's special actions for each attack.
Well, actually,
Not like an action, it
I
replaces
used my
an attack,
movement
right?
to get in there. The action
Yeah.
surge was to continue the movement, so that would have been the action. And my previous action, I used a grapple, so I could use that for the push, but then that would be all my actions.
Well, if you have multi, I think you have 2 left, right?
Right, but what I'm saying is I grappled him, I moved to him, grappled him, that's one action.
Mm-hmm.
Push him to the door, try to push him through the door as a second attack action with the push. But in order to potentially get him through the door, I had to action surge to use a dash action to also make the push occur. Does that make sense?
I'll say instead of a dash, it was one of your attacks, so you get 1 more left if you want.
Oh, okay. Another straight roll.
Yeah.
It's 11.
11. Yeah, this door is already weakened. It was 15 down to a 10. As you last heave ho, and the hippopotamus suddenly breaks free as the door gets widened into a hippopotamus-sized door. It is now Pooh Beared out of the door. You're still grappling it. Are you letting it go or what?
No, I'm gonna keep it grappled because I'm not ready for it to run around and try to kill people.
Sure. It is a terrified hippopotamus grappled in the middle of a tavern door with growling and rumbling behind it. Anais at some point around it trying to calm it down.
Probably when I saw what he's doing, like, okay,
Sure. I'll say because it's force push, you don't get any opportunity attacks. I'm also BSing this at the moment, improving, so we'll just go with this. Mekai, it's now your turn, as all of this has just happened as you're sitting there with porridge and a book.
I'm gonna say something not quite polite in Infernal and then get up. What? What's that? What is that, Zachary?
You need to
Is
get
this-
your money back.
But I paid for it.
Well, Brian needs to get his money back.
Kahu! Just set my book down safely. Porridge down safely and run after, I guess.
Just a
Do we even know what this animal is?
it's a hippopotamus.
Yeah,
Give me
yeah.
a nature check.
Yeah, that's a 19, 20, 21.
Sure, you've heard of the great, lazy, but dangerous beasts of the rivers that hang out between Fusuaga and Hanazuka. These things are definitely dangerous when spooked and scared. quite large too.
Be careful.
They
And I'm
chomp.
running after. Yeah, they kill more people than lions.
So you're running, you're staying behind it, you're going outside
Yeah, I'm running. I'm running.
to do what? Is there anything you're doing with your action, or you're just kind of stunned at the moment, just kind of waiting?
I think just kind of at the ready, if it makes a move towards anyone in like a, because I know that they're dangerous, I'll make a move to like try to steer it away, like, you know, be right in front of someone, and if it's gonna target someone,
Sure.
I'd rather get bit than someone other person. This is apparently the hippo that was in my bag, so I don't.
Okay. Cool. So that's your turn. As you guys look outside, you can see a quite scared Gerbus with the hair kind of freaking out and being like, "What's that?" And you kind of see his son going, "Oh, I think we gave him the wrong bag." And Bracarius just being like, "What is happening?" And you see him try and cast a spell. If any of you know the sleep spell, it has no effect on this thing, unfortunately, as the hippopotamus seems to droop its eyes for a second and shake it off and growl and then continue to try and wrestle its way away from Kahu. Awesome. Nice. It's back up to you.
How far away is like the city gate where we can get it out?
From here, a good 50, 60 feet to the right once you leave the tavern.
Okay. I guess I would probably like run outside and see if I can help get it out of the gate. Potentially even like holding an action, so if it runs away, I can almost like thaumaturgy, like sheepdog it out the door.
Sure. I like this. It cannot move at the moment.
Yeah, it's like I position myself, and I almost like I don't know if Kari would understand what I'm saying, but I position myself like over, like being ready for it at least. So.
Sure. We'll switch to actual fight music since this went more than a round. Yeah, as you kind of like holding your action outdoor to like kind of help shepherd it. It is back to Zachary's turn. You see it break through the front door.
I will look to the barkeep and say, Gerbus is going to pay for that because he screwed up.
He's like outdoors, like looking in with his eyes wide open. Yeah, sure.
And I'm watching over my sisters.
Sure, okay.
I'm not leaving them to run out there. I'm staying by them.
Are you holding anything, or are you just kind of just standing in front protectively?
I will have thaumaturgy ready to scare that thing away if it comes anywhere near the doorway to this place.
Sure. Kahu, what are you doing?
Question for you, Mike. Now that I'm in a place where I can grow large, do I become large?
I think if you recast it, I think it was like at the time. You still have all the same benefits of it, but you're just not larger.
Yeah.
You could still carry it the same. You still have the attributes of being large, but.
Gotcha. I am going to.
Your token's not beak.
I'm going to continue moving this hippo towards the exit of the town.
All right. You start dragging it halfway there. It is. Yeah, you get it 15 feet towards the door. You got 4 more rounds to get it done. Is that what you guys are trying to do? Is just drag it to the front door and
let it
sheep
go
it there?
out, yeah.
All right. For the sake of brevity, instead of going full 4 rounds, because I don't think anyone else is, unless you're doing anything specific. Okay, I'm going to do 4 contested grapple checks just to see if you can break free. How's that? So 1,
Can I help Kahu? Does that help at all?
Sure.
17?
I mean, it's not having any resistance, so he already has advantage anyway. So
Oh, okay.
17.
Yep.
That's with advantage.
Yes.
Okay. The first time it just kind of kicks out, and you're just barely slipped out of your grasp as it rolled a 17 as well. Anais, do you reaction with a thaumaturgy?
Doesn't the tie go to the... Because we were already in the grapple, so doesn't the tie stay in the grapple?
I don't think so. I might be wrong.
It stays the same.
Does it stay the same? Status stays.
No changing condition.
Gotcha. Okay. I was thinking meets and beats it since he's trying to get out of it. All right. Then luckily we will call it that way. Go to roll me another one with advantage. Roll
26.
Roll the same thing as this time. You're able to get a better one and kind of pull it another 15 feet. Though you have a full crowd now with crossbows aimed at it. Are you guys trying to prevent people from shooting at it at this point?
Yeah, I'm just shouting, don't shoot it, don't shoot it. We're just trying to get it out the front door.
You just see one like the female council guard, like, where did it come from?
I don't know. Ask Jervis or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
His son.
you see Jervis's son, who's like a younger guy, and he's just like, my bad. Nah, that one's on me. I can explain it. Just it's fine. It's cool. I think we should just get it out of town, though. My bad, Dad. Kind of seems like this is probably not the first time he's got into some mischievous sort of antics.
You need to hold yourself responsible.
Go to roll me a third grapple.
17.
All right, as again, this time it does slip free with a 19. I will allow you to thaumaturge it, and then on the next round, as it's kind of like trying to get away, it begins to start running towards the door. Kahu, what are you doing on your last round?
I want to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Yeah, that's a fail. That's a 6.
So it is charmed for the round, and I'm going to use that round to continue pushing it out of the town.
So yeah, it just kind of calms down a bit and just starts eating the grass, and you start pushing it out of town and telling it what to do, and it just starts listening to you. As you guys are out of initiative, as the hippopotamus that got pulled or fell out of the bag of Bob seems to be over and out of town. Sorry guys. That was fun.
I'm gonna go up to the son and just more tiefling not nice words and
no, hold on. I don't know what that means. Hold on. And he goes over, you see he put on these like muffin ears, and he's like, well, that's rude. As you keep on speaking to him, he now seems to understand what you're saying.
What? I know what that was, but what was that?
Yeah, that's Bob. It's like a joke bag. I think I put it in the wrong pile. Do you want like 2 bag of coldings instead to make up for it? I'll take Bob back, even though he's ripped.
Sure. Yeah, I guess, but why? What?
It's funny, man.
I've pulled a deer or an elk out of a bag of Volutions or something. That was fun.
Earmuffs, thank you, Maria. Yeah. Well, I heard of someone that pulled a bullet out of it one time too, out of beans, and I was like, oh, it was funny. So I was like, let's make like a bag out of it, you know?
Wait, what out of beans?
Oh, it's like a shark thing that like has legs. It's a bullet, or bullet. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it in your tongue.
Oh,
Pretty cool though.
bullet. Oh.
Yeah. Do you want your meat back though? And he like begins to start reaching into the bag again.
Do not touch
Oh.
anything more.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Yeah, that's a good call.
I will take the other stuff. You take this, and we don't have to
yeah.
do this again.
The other elders and council members seem the big guy and the woman seem to be scolding Gerbus, and Gerbus is trying to explain everything, calm everyone down, and Harold or Franz the bard is just, all right, everybody, the fun is over for the morning. The thing is gone. Back to work. Nothing to see here. See, the Chosens have saved the day. Glorify, right? It was kind of fun. It's not funny. It's fine. It's fine. But everyone just clear out. It's fine.
Nothing can kill people. I'm just saying it can, and they do. So maybe don't go crazy with the magics, and don't let your youth like experiment that heavily with magics.
Yeah. All right. That's a good call. My bad. It just takes it, slings it over his back, over his shoulder.
Use your gifts for not pulling hippopotamuses out of bags especially when one is eating breakfast, and maybe label them correctly.
Labels. That's a great idea. As he starts like walking in, and like you see him like writing notes on like a little piece of paper off the side. But he throws you back 2 bags. One that looks like the bag of holding, but different, and one that looks like your bag of holding.
Zachary, I'm gonna. Can you identify these, please?
Yep.
Making sure there's not a Rob and a.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they're not siblings somehow.
Yeah. Iris, can you start packing up my stuff? And I'm gonna just spend every single thing we got from that shop on identifying.
That was so cool! And Katrina's just like, that was terrifying! No, it's fine. Zachary would have taken care of us. She's like, that was neat. Can I have one, Zachary?
No.
I think it'd be really smart and wise to have the ability to pull a random animal out when one needs. You see her attempting to use like logic against you.
You think you can pull it out the door?
I have something that can do that, okay? That's an illusion. It's not real. So maybe we'll play with that instead, okay?
I was just laying on the ground trying to catch his breath.
Yeah, and I was like, it was probably near him because she was like his backup thaumaturgy in case, and she just like walks up to him and she starts a sign and then realizes she can't, so she just goes like this.
That was a good idea.
You see about a dozen guards and militia that were up on like the fortress walls, just kind of looking down and just shaking their heads. One's laughing, the rest are just like rolling their eyes, shaking their heads.
Like looking at all of them, and then she says in her head to Kahu, that was pretty good. I didn't think a person could wrestle a hippopotamus. Ever.
Well, easier out of the water at least.
That is fair.
Oh yeah, I could see that being harder. I did want a distraction from going back home. This was not what I had in mind.
Well, you asked and you asked and the sky answered with a hippopotamus, apparently.
Guess so. Guess I should be careful what I ask for. I like pull out my hand to see if you want to like get up, like to help you up.
Grab your hand and gets me in the sitting position at least.
I feel like Kahu would get up and like Anais would just go flying somewhere.
I'm
Just
strong.
floating.
I have 14 strength.
It's better than Ren, so
Yeah.
Solid.
go to shake a hand, Ren's hand just crushes like, oh. All right.
Thank you.
Yep.
You're worried about what we're heading towards.
Yeah. I'm not sure how to say about that.
You need to talk about it.
I don't really know what to say about it right now, but maybe after, once it's there, I just don't know how it's gonna be, you know?
It's fair.
But thanks.
We'll all be here for you.
Thank you.
You always have my ear.
Thanks.
Of course.
I know I do, actually. You made that pretty obvious.
Happy to have you here with us.
She smells at him.
Well,
I would imagine.
sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, I was gonna say, I would imagine we walk back to the group and
Yeah, I was just saying, should we go see what Zach's staring over?
yeah, see if his sisters are okay.
Head over that way.
Yeah. Meet up with everybody. Hear Meika yelling.
Gerbis expressively apologizing to Mekai, and I'm so sorry for my son. Please, that is not a reflection on my store, or at least myself. I am so sorry. Please, whatever. If you need anything else here, Zachary, you do identify everything else. Everything is well identified as advertised. This seems to be a one-off accidental switch of bag.
Just
All right, you should be good with this.
okay. Gerbis, just tell your son to be careful. Like, label things. Why was that not a thing? This, like, I'm not even upset about my safety. I was upset about the kids and about the rest of your people's.
I mean, they are labeled on the display. You just, yeah.
Animal crackers do you even got in that bag anyways?
Oh, it's actually quite interesting. And he seems to go into a bit of a fun, he actually finds it quite interesting himself how this was done. But I mean, there's hippopotamuses, rats, boars, cows, frogs, wolves, apes, bears, elephants, swarm of wasps. That's not fun. A crocodile and an owl bear. I don't know how that one got in there, but quite interesting.
Oh,
You realize that there's only like 2 things you said that are okay in that list, right?
Oh, the cow actually does have dairy products with it, so it's not a bad one to have.
All right, I'm gonna walking away.
Come again. All right, yeah, you guys meet up back at the tavern. What's his name? His full name? Harold Darnell Franz is there, kind of greeting all of you. And I was like, well, that was a morning.
You can sing about this, I suppose. There you go. Make it a comedy. You'll make a killing.
Oh, I will. Oh, don't worry. Your tale will be told here for quite some time. I started thinking of a catchphrase. Pull on threads of fate. I like it. I think I can go with it. Yeah.
that sounds
Nice.
very fateful.
I think so. I don't know.
Can I just... Is everybody okay?
I'm fine.
The door's not! You hear from the back, but as the bartender's starting to like sweep up stuff.
I'm
Can I-
sorry, I was thinking it was better your door than your entire establishment.
I mean, I'm not blaming you guys. That's Gerbis and his son, so don't worry about it.
What a terror of the town.
I just want you to know I appreciate all of your food.
He kind of blushes a little bit.
I was trying to defend your kitchen.
Well done, sir. Well done. Just stay away from Chuck for a while. He does some weird stuff. I think he partakes in the snips, personally, but that's just me. That's what I've heard.
Signs, I can't believe I'm saying this, but should we go?
Yes.
Okay.
That's... Yes. I don't want to deal with any more hippopotamuses.
Mekai,
Or
question for you.
bears.
did you remember to put on your horn stopper thingies
Oh
last
my
night?
gosh, yes.
Did you? Did you? I don't remember you telling
Yes.
me. Okay,
I don't want to have to specify it every night.
that's fair. That's fair. I was gonna roll for it to
Yes.
see if you damaged the pillows, but that's fine.
Nope.
Cool. All right. Yeah, you guys are either both welcomed goodbyes from Gerbis and Harold or ushered goodbyes from some of the guards and Wellingham and Shivan, as they are quite happy for you to be gone at the moment. But Bricarius seems to just be chuckling a little bit and just, I thought you guys handled that quite well, actually. So, Meikai, come on. It was a little funny. I see this grin on your face, just a little bit.
I spilled my oatmeal. It wasn't a good morning.
Oof, that's rough. Let's grab some more oatmeal. He's handing it out for free. Kahu didn't even finish it.
It's no.
I did too, so you're fine. He will cast Levitate, as he seems to be getting to start to get some of his spells back. And he kind of floats himself into the cart, and then turns and floats Iris and Katrina as they're like, oh! And they kind of get floated up into the carriage as well. And he goes, well, I think we're ready. Gerbis just kind of comes up. He goes, again, I'm really sorry, everybody, but I really appreciate all the help and assistance you've had to our city. If there's anything you need, supplies or anything, if you find people at Solistarum that return, and we used to have quite the deal to help bring them supplies and help continue their style of life. I'm always here to help. We won't send any bags of bombs, I promise.
Just maybe fill them with useful animals and not dangerous ones.
That's not a bad idea.
Like a messenger dove or
That-
a
I'm not sure if
cow.
that was quite controllable. Bob's mischievousness did have a hand to play in that. I'm just saying. But
I don't understand because I don't understand magic, but sure.
we don't understand half of it ourselves. It's quite fun.
And Ice will just sign thank you for the information. That was really helpful last night.
He gets a little bit more serious as he comes up to you and he goes, it was a pleasure to see you again. Please don't be a stranger. Your father and I were friends. Bricarius and I were quite good pals. I hope to continue that with you as well.
He just like nods a little bit and puts her hand on his shoulder really fast. Very briefly. Like enough affirmation.
He just kind of quickly does it back. That must be an elvish thing. I like it. All right. So you guys.
Excuse me, I think I'm gonna lay down in the back of the carriage.
Yeah, I definitely need a Constitution saving throw after all that physical activity and all the food you just ate.
Oh my gosh. So sick.
Yeah, buddy.
24.
Oh, that probably
very
helped.
good.
Yeah, you definitely spend a good 4 to 5 minutes on the ground. But you feel like you kind of worked most of it off, and you actually find yourself snacking on meats and bacon on the way out.
I feel like I need a nap though.
For sure. Yeah, they'll scoot over and give you a.
I can do a sitting nap. I'm a soldier.
Iris and Katrina go and sit up next to Zachary as they give you enough room to lay down or sit up and nap for a bit in the back.
Sorry, thank you.
Zachary,
I
are
like it.
yeah?
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
You said it was 2 bags of colding or 1?
A bag of colding and another bag of holding,
Okay.
as he feels extremely sorry about what happened.
Cool.
And the rest of the stuff you guys have, because again, you know me and my notes. I don't have them written down. I have the original ones, but write down in your equipment what you have, or else you don't have it. That's the one rule I have as the DM. So fantastic. It's actually a big trust thing. So yeah. Don't lie about your gold, because I won't know. All right. Is there anything else you guys want to do before you depart Giant's Bane?
Before we go, I want to kind of get some of those elders and say goodbye to them.
Sure.
Especially the ones who are more hesitant to like let people in.
Yeah.
And just be like, I'm sorry that things got crazy this morning. I'm sure that was not comfortable, but
You seem to be quite one of the sensible one of your group. I appreciate your apology. Kind of the big bulbous triple-chinned one says. It's quite weird to see a triple chin on a halfling, but it's quite also impressive.
we're leaving you now, and I wish you the best, but I just want you to think about the first set of Chosens had a halfling in it. There's strong legacy in your race's bloodline. Keep that in mind when it comes to considering helping others.
Give me a persuasion check. With advantage, Mr. I speak well with upper ups.
That will be a 25.
You see, as you've somehow connected to the pride of the halflings, especially kind of the stiff upper-nosed of Shivan and kind of the well-to-speak of Wellingham the Fourth. Shivan doesn't really seem to give you much acknowledgement except a nod, one that you have not seen her give yet. And Wellingham seems to brighten up a bit and puff his chest out a bit. You're right, the halflings are a proud race. Maybe forward if the Chosens, you all seem to do well of your job. Maybe we could open our doors, pronounce a little bit to others the proud association we have with them.
Wonderful. Well, we'll leave now. Thank you.
You see Gerbus is kind of standing behind, quite holding a grin and seeing what you did. Kind of nods very encouragingly to you and thanks. All right. Are you guys now departing your interesting time at Giant's Bane?
Yeah, Kaz is just in the back of the thing, falling asleep.
Sure. All right. Zachary, go ahead and give me an animal handling check. I'm guessing you're taking the reins.
Yeah. 13.
13, pretty well. The horses are used to you. You don't seem to be much of an issue necessarily. You guys get about a good 100 yards away from Giant's Bane when all of a sudden you hear pronouncing from the tops a loud and trumpet sounding farewell, almost like a war cry, but in victory celebration. And you look back and you can see Harold Franz just standing up and waving with a glorious huzzah. And you see the militia behind him actually sounding trumpets at your farewell.
Prestidigitation spark.
I'm just imagining Zachary just.
Yeah, just his sister's bow. He's
Oh, for sure. Like, oh, it's the coolest. Wow, you guys sure make an entrance. That's so cool. Yeah, they're kind of both pointing it out to you. Perfect. Anais, where are you at? Are you just kind of walking next to the carriage? Are you kind of sitting on the edge? What's up?
I'm walking. Probably with the carriage for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
After you kind of look backwards and you guys get a couple more steps, you look over as a small little flip of the curtain opens and you see Brett Carius. He gives you a little wink and just kind of mouths the words, "Good job." Then closes the curtain. All right. So, is there anything else you guys want to do as we're traveling, or are you guys all just kind of determinedly going to Solisterum?
I think after I've recovered a little bit, I'll get out and walk along the side and stuff. But
Sure.
I imagine we're heading to where we're heading.
Yeah, I think if we're on the road, I'm just mentally prepping myself. Not really very talkative.
More so than usual. Little pun there. All right. As you all begin your travels, the yesterday storm has thank you, Lit. I was thinking the same thing. As slowly faded out. Go and do a weather check. As today seems to bring with very fair weather. The clouds slowly depart, and about noon the sun now comes out in its glorious warmth against your faces. The travels have gone well. There's clear paths back to the back side of the mountain. It gets a little bit difficult when you get there, as it gets a little bit colder the higher up the mountain you go. You kind of have to bundle up a little bit. The tree line now suddenly goes from snow to greenery and like the brush undergrowth. As the snow line, you seem to have gotten above it. It takes a good portion of the day. As you know, in your travels, Solisterum is just on the other side of the ridge, kind of the mountainside. The ridge that connects the south to the north is just on the other side. You're kind of following this path that goes between two valleys, and you know that as you continue and go center around to the east, almost as if you're eyeing towards Triton, that you'd be heading towards Solisterum. Your travels go pretty well, but it is starting to get late into the day, as it is going to take more than a single day's travel. What are you guys doing? Are you going to push through some of the night? Or are you going to stop, kind of camp, and find the rest of the travel during the day?
Well, how late would we have to go to get there if we just push through?
Give me a survival check.
Can I assist?
You can definitely assist.
I have a good idea of time when it comes to this guy.
16.
16. Yeah, with Kahu's navigational help and the map that you have, he's never been here before specifically, so you're not very aware of the mountainside, but you kind of help him with as much as descriptions as you can remember of the area. You know it fairly well. You get the feeling it's going to take another 6 hours or so to get there. It's going to be late into the night.
Like midnight?
2 a.m. by the time you arrive. And you know that, of course, at night, traveling in the woods can be slightly more dangerous than the day.
I don't know. I mean, I just asked the group, I guess, what they'd rather do.
You guys kind of bring the cart to a little bit of a halt to let the horses rest and eat a little bit. You guys can share some rations as you discuss.
I mean, if it's safer to make camp, then maybe we make camp. I'd rather not be overly exhausted. Or we can probably take turns pushing through, but I also feel bad for the horses.
That's probably a good idea to give the horses a rest.
Can also do a little spell that might help them.
Spell? What do you mean?
Just help them last longer.
Like endurance?
Yeah.
So you'd rather get there sooner?
I mean, I don't see a point to staying out if we can push through tonight. It's not that late.
Okay.
Fair enough. I'll get my shield and my spear. If we're walking at night, I've got them out.
Yeah. I look extra
Mhm.
alert now.
Yeah,
Sure.
I put Ranger in the cart next to Bry so he can sleep.
Sure. Yep. It kind of like circles up next to Bry. Both Iris and Katrina have kind of now made their way into the cart and have kind of napped a little bit in boredom of the strip. All right.
Nice. You okay if we mind link?
Or did you mind Link? Or did you ask?
I was asking. Like, I
Oh,
was
okay.
pointing at my
Yeah, she
sword.
nods. She nods.
I'll mind link. Let me know if you see anything.
Yeah, same here. You could take front and I take back.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm in perception, looking for things.
And we have one horse or two horses?
2 horses.
Okay.
You casting on both of them?
Yeah, I'll cast Bear's Endurance on both the horses.
What exactly does that do?
Advantage
Mhm.
on Constitution saving throws and also 2d6 temporary hit points.
Nice. And you're casting on both. How long does it last?
An hour.
Okay.
Can they
I mean,
actually
it's
turn
fair.
into bears?
No.
You just see one
The
get in.
horses, they can last.
They get quite invigorated from this rest as you cast on both of them. It's not concentration, right?
It is concentration.
Can you cast on both?
It's a
Can you do multiple?
at third level. I did a second
Okay.
level above to get
Cool.
both of them. So
Just double checking. Cool. Yeah, as both of them get quite invigorated. They seem to roll pretty well. They seem to be holding well. The path is well carved into the ground, so it's not like it's going over too much issue. I need everyone to give me perception checks if you are on the lookout. As you
Yeah.
push forward into the night, the sun kind of sets over the horizon, now turning the orange and purples into kind of that twilight and night. The
23?
the moon, now a half moon overhead. 23?
Mm-hmm.
21.
21.
11. Didn't roll super great.
Zach?
I'm focused on the horses most.
Okay. So, I'm sorry, 21, 11, and what did you get, John?
I got
a
21.
23.
Okay, cool. As you are all looking, Anais, the night kind of proceeds on. It's now getting quite late. Nothing you've seen so far, as slowly the trees now begin to, as you ride over the ridge to the other side, begin to change to a little bit more of a pine. It's a beautiful landscape, as you can now just barely see out over the tops of the trees as you're now on the descent, the sea and coastline, kind of rippling in the moon. You can see the moonlight reflecting off some of it.
I'm gonna add one thing if I got a chance.
Yeah, definitely.
I would use a sorcery point on the Bear's Endurance to double the length of it as well.
Perfect. I like it. I like it. So it's 2 hours now?
Yeah.
Okay. As you look up, all of you guys can look up, and now for the first time, because the lights are kind of absent from around you, and being on the top of the mountain, the starlight sky is gorgeous. The stars are out more so than you've seen them before. And Anais, you now, almost in memory, look up and can see a line of almost that looks like a tear in the space, similar to if you see the Milky Way in the sky when it's dark enough. You can see blues and purples mingle, almost like they're moving slightly, like a shimmer, just in the distance behind some of these stars. It almost gives you
Is that like a the night is pretty description, or is it this is a weird thing that I haven't seen before?
It's more of the night description is pretty. But you can remember your father telling you tales where he believes this could be the edge of our known universe. That he always wondered what goes beyond. Are there more planets? Are there more realms beyond? Is that where the affinities lie? It always intrigued him and was always on his mind. As you're looking at it, though, give me an intelligence check.
Um, 11. I've only got 11s today.
All right. It's pretty.
It's pretty.
It's pretty. Kind of remember the recognition of it. All right. As the rest of you are going through, it's another few hours. Continue on this path. And as you start winding down a little bit more the pathway, Meikai, Kahu, both of you in the distance start hearing growling from either side. You instantly recognize this as wolves, kind of echoing and howling to each other on either side. You both know well enough nature and traveling through it. It's as a predatory sort of growling. You almost seem to be beginning to get surrounded now at this point.
I don't like this.
Keep your eyes open. We have company.
Wolves.
You guys waking up Bri and the kids at all?
Bri, yes. For sure.
Yeah, with that. I'm not used to staying up this late.
Wolves.
Alright, that's not good. Alright. And kind of...
Did we do anything in particular for wolves where we lived? You know?
There were certain fencing and kind of night watches in your village, but nothing specific. Kind of fires that kept alight the town and kind of kept them at bay, but...
Okay. I'll say in my mind linky thing to Kaho, I'll be like, I could try to scare them away, but it would be noisy.
We could all try to scare them. Thaumaturgy it up real loud. Maybe they'll run off.
Let's do it. What stand should we do?
Meow.
Oh, I'll just make my voice really loud, and
The cat.
we can have a little bit of a rumble of thunder.
Yeah,
You got your
Yeah.
thunders thing.
I'll do thunder too.
Might scare them off. I don't know. Just an idea.
Do I see any big rocks around?
Give me a perception check.
Uh, 19.
Sure. You kind of find over near one of the trunks. You have to dig through some of the pine leaves and stuff, but they're a good size, fist-sized rock.
I want something that's like almost
Larger?
heading towards boulder size.
Okay. You're going to have to dig down a little bit deeper, but in the same place. Go ahead and give me a strength check.
Just a check, not athletics.
Yeah.
It's a 7.
It's in the ground pretty well. You can try again, but you're going to be stopping the carriage, or you're going to be falling behind. So.
No, I'll just take the stones. I'm
Okay.
just using them to make noise.
Sure. Yeah, you can grab 2 or 3 of them.
I have the girls plug their ears.
Are you waking them up?
Yeah, they're gonna wake up to the sound otherwise. So.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
As soon as I hear the sound, I'm going to throw the rocks towards the direction where I was hearing the biggest group of wolves.
Sure.
Let's all just sound very
Yeah, we all
angry and screaming.
Yeah, we could do like a 3, 2, 1 thing. Okay.
Yeah, Bradcarius has kind of shifted, so he's like in the opening of the carriage where the girl's like behind him, and he's kind of like, it's fine. It's just a few night wolves, whatever. Just be ready for some noise. Do this. And so the kids are kind of like, but yeah, all 3 of you set off. You hear some growling quite closer, almost about 30 feet off to your left. And again,
If I hear it that close, I'm going to turn into a giant when the noise goes off. I'm going to belt these rocks in their direction.
Sure. The sounds go off. Everyone that's making noise, give me an intimidation check. Kahu, you can give me attack rolls if you want.
That's a natural 20.
Nice.
19.
7.
One of them was a natural 1 on one of the throws. That just wildly goes somewhere. And the other one was a... Do I add my attack modifier on this?
Dexterity. And you're
Dexterity.
not proficient with the rock, I'd say.
It's a 21.
Still good. The one you see like takes off a smaller tree, like just the whole top of it at about 30-foot distance just crumbles down. But you guys all start making noise, and you start hearing more yelping and almost like as a few seem to scatter off in the distance a little bit. Meikai and Kahu, with your perception checks before, as you hear kind of the growling continue at some, and like one that seemed like it definitely got hurt, like a yip yip. You can
damage.
Yeah, go ahead. Actually,
what's a stone? A D4?
I'll give you a D6 since you're giant.
Well, I get the D6 automatically with the giant.
What do you mean? Yeah, I'm turning the rock into a D6 as well.
Gotcha.
You're fine.
Wow.
I was not expecting you to do that, so.
That wasn't great, but still, it's 4 damage.
Total?
Yeah, because use my dex modifier, right? Not my strength.
Yeah. So, okay. That's the D6 plus your giant's might. D6.
Yeah, I rolled
Throwing stuff you could
2
do.
ones. That's rough. What'd you say, Zach?
Yeah, I rolled 2d6. I rolled 2
I
ones.
thought you could do, for throwing stuff, you could do strength or dex with it too.
Can you? I'm not
Rather
quite
than
sure.
just like precision, it's, I don't know. It's up
Like strength, yeah. That's fair.
It's chucking it, so
I mean,
it could
finesse
be
you
strength
can.
or dex,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, if it's
I'll give you
then
strength,
6
that's fine.
damage.
Sure. Cool. 6. Yeah, it definitely kind of yelps and kind of goes back a little bit. The two of you can see a bird that seems to have flown down and then suddenly in the shadows morph into a humanoid that kind of stands, and you hear a elvish word. Anyone that knows elvish, that says, stand down, we mean no harm. And Meikai and Kahu, since you both can see this as well, a secondary bird starts flying down from the trees. It looks like an owl. What are you guys doing?
I'm preparing to fight because I don't understand Elvish.
Sure.
I will say
I
in
don't understand
Elvish.
Elvish, but
Who are you?
owls.
Oh, Meikai, what are you doing? When Zachary says this.
Are you are you the druids who helped us before?
You know elvish, right?
No.
This is
just
out in
asking
common.
this.
Okay.
Yeah, because I saw an owl, and that's the only time we've encountered owls are from the druids. So.
There.
And they said that they would always be watching. So.
Kahu, Meikai, and Zach, just roll me a quick d20 with your initiative. Nice, are you doing anything?
21.
I'm just getting ready.
20.
12.
Okay, cool. I was just seeing if Kahu's gonna go before all of you. D, as you say this, and Zachary, you kind of call out, you can see now come into kind of like the firelight, and Bri kind of like casts light, and so it kind of illuminates kind of the center point around the carriage. Coming out of the shadows, forming from an owl, turns into Dredora, the druid that you once saw on the mountain nearby the Centaurium. She goes, I apologize. I did not mean to frighten you. This is my friend. Hold on. Jarkan. He is part of the druids that protect this mountain. And you kind of see him turn to the wolves and kind of speak to them and calm them, as almost they seem to respect and kind of answer to as they've kind of calmed down. He's tending to the wounds on the wolf that Kahu hit. Kahu, how are you reacting to all this? As you said, you're about to fight. Yeah.
Well, I was just preparing to fight, right?
Sure. Just asking.
I'm kind of sitting there, ready if something happens. But are they speaking in common now, or?
Dradora is. Jarkan is not.
But I know Jador, so.
Yeah, you recognize Dradora. Dradora is the owl druid that assisted you in Meikai.
I'll relax my stance, but.
Be on guard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
What are you doing here?
My apologies. I came to see the druids and how they have upkept since the attack near our mountain at your school. We heard wind from those that you had left. It is good to see you again. What brings you here?
Can you tell her that I say this in Kahu's head. Can you tell her I'm looking to see what happened to the elves in the village? Ask her if she knows anything.
We're here looking after, trying to find what has happened to the elves in the village up ahead.
She kind of translates in Elvish, and nice, you can hear kind of that translation to Jarkan. And she goes, kind of asking Jarkan, do you know what happened to the settlement here? We once knew them before. We have worked quite close with them. Jarkan, kind of a more fighter build, who seems to, instead of have this owl motif, is more of an eagle motif. It's a little bit more eagle and wolf kind of combination. And he begins to speak. The settlements that they call Solesterium was abandoned, burned down. The one they call Connor returned after his supposed death. Alden, the leader of Solesterium, stopped contact with us and left 3 weeks ago. Solesterium burned the night after. Dradora will translate this to common for those that don't know. Right.
Can I signing? Can he see? Does it look like he gets it if I start signing to him? Like, can
Do
you understand
Jarkan?
this? Yeah.
He kind of just looks confused at you. Bright Carries will speak up. Did you say Connor? Yes. Bricarius. Bricarius is just kind of standing there. He's dead. I am afraid that is not true. He has returned with those that they call Lightis.
Anais will sign for like Bride to like translate for her, but she says, "Did he look different? Did you see him?"
You hear Bright Carries kind of just stumble on his words. Yeah, did he look different? Please, any information? I did not see him myself, but the scouts told me he was with a woman of golden skin that they call Erendil. That his face was marked with the markings of darkness, and his eyes clouded over like silver of the moon.
She looks at Brian. She just signs. We heard that when we were back at the volcano.
You see him just steel himself, kind of calm himself down for a second. You kind of see that same like flight mechanic that you saw in the interrogation for a second, and then whatever you all have helped him overcome since then, you see him steel himself a little bit more and just nods. Right. I didn't think it was true. I mean, could be someone impersonating him, right? Or worse?
Could be a lot of things right now. We'll need to find more answers.
Jadora just... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, she just signed, so you didn't hear what happened, though, when he went back?
I have instructed most of our druids not to contact with them. They come off with darkness vibes of poison in the ground. We do not trust these lighters, though we trusted Kellum before. He kind of just nods in agreement with you. We were preparing to return to find any animals or help recover parts that have been burned when Dredora came to us. Dredora steps forward and she just goes, we are trying to unite between our tribes to make sure this attack on Centaurium and the mountains and the poisoning of our water temple is not continuing elsewhere. Luckily, it doesn't seem this mountain has been poisoned, but all of you helped aid us. And she looks at you, Kahu, and in common she says, thank you to your helping. The Centaurium sent help in the fires that began to burn on our mountain. And she bows deeply. Whatever sort of protection we can provide to you here, or in your travels in the mountains, we offer to you. And you see Jarkan kind of look over and nod, and then bow deeply as well.
I'll nod, and I haven't quite followed everything that has been talked about here, but in terms of protection, I know that we're seeking for the safety of these three here, as we have other journeys to attend to.
And Bright Hairs looks at all of you and goes, I've dealt with Jarkan and the Eagle Tribe here. They are allies.
Have I heard of them, by the way?
In passing, yeah, you definitely recognize there have been trade with them, good kind of like respect of nature, and as you all kind of live alongside them, there was no issues between you and your tribes and them. Just very much like with Giant Spain, your father kind of helped proceed like almost a peace and connection between living there. And it was, from what you know, it must have been through your father, or at least partially your father, that they got permission to build Solasterum, as in respect, almost like the other mountain, they have always kind of seen to it as the druids were here first. They're only sharing the land with them. It's not a, we own this, we share the mountain with you sort of thing.
Sure.
So just kind of like how you guys gained their trust on the mountain before, same here.
Okay, that sounds good.
You know how hard it was to not say anything about all this when you met the druids on the first time? Because I had both these tribes set up for that connection. I'm the worst with secrets, guys.
Can you help guide us there tonight? Keep us safe from threats?
you kind of hear him whistle out, and the wolves return, but very much more peaceful and kind. You see one kind of going up, sniffing towards Ranger, and Ranger's kind of sniffing back, and then kind of like goes back and hides around your legs.
Is he an actual wolf puppy?
Give me a nature check.
Okay, now that we're it's a 12.
12.
Mm-hmm.
You notice partial wolf genes in him. It doesn't seem to be a full wolf, but more of a kind of like that husky mix where it's a in between.
Mm-hmm.
Crossbreed. There you go. That's what I'm thinking.
You're like a ranger. Maybe you could learn to howl.
Ah, rah, 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 rah.
Ranger's smart.
And one of the wolves goes, "Arr, arr, rah, 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 rah." Not quite, but all right.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Oh, getting there. It's an alarm system. That's what I was thinking.
Jarkan just looks and he says to you, Anais, "Prepare yourself. Most of the town has been burnt. It is not how you remember, I'm sure. But we will guide all of you, keep you safe." And in turn, he turns into an eagle, and you kind of hear him caw, and there's a few caws in the distance that return. The wolves kind of scatter, and Kahu, you can sense, even though they're kind of like below the brush, with your blind sense kind of on either side, there's a wolf kind of like almost escorting on either side.
And I will point to Anais subtly and just whisper message, and we're with you too.
I can respond, can I, or no? I don't
I did
remember
agree
what we
with your
said.
stone thing, so
Yeah, we said
So I
with the
can.
we said with this. Hold on.
Walkie-talkies.
Right, but I changed them. You know what? Yeah, we'll say, for the sake of all this, yes, you can still do that.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll just respond back. Thanks. I wouldn't want to be alone. So that's...
It feels like it doesn't come from the same stone. It seems to like the signal. I don't know if you could really tell with your arcane level, but Zach, you notice the signal kind of bounces off a stone and now in Bricarius's pocket instead of hers. She still hears
my
it.
Spell that's doing it?
Your spell usually connects to her stone that allows her to telepathically respond instead of whisper.
Okay. Does my spell
Actually, you know
make it
what?
so she can respond back?
You know what?
That's
No.
part of the spell.
I'm gonna change this up because this actually makes a little more sense. This time you expected to go to the stone, the walkie-talkie stone, but it seems to connect with her cat's eye. Whereas normally she doesn't have to speak subtle responses. The cat's eye now allows her to respond telepathically with the same sort of subtle
I
properties
think
that I
we
had
did
before.
that in the past anyway.
I
With
think
that.
so.
Sure.
We did that.
We had used the walkie-talkies
In the office.
previously, but it's fine. Yeah, yes.
Oh, we did? Okay.
It's fine. I don't remember exactly what we did, but this is what we're gonna do going forward, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Don't lose it.
boom, let's go. Let's follow.
Okay.
I'll just put a hand as we're walking. I'll just walk up to Anais and put a hand on her shoulder. Just be like, "We're okay."
Wait, what'd you say? Sorry.
Oh, you're okay?
Oh, she just kind of like squeezes it briefly, but then she just says, "Be good to just get it over with."
Okay.
Tredora now kind of with a large staff kind of made with turned wood and white kind of elements to it and leaves kind of off of it. She walks with you instead of changing to owl form. Is there anything you guys wanted to talk to her as you guys continue walking? It takes about another hour and a half or so to get to Solstium.
Fedora, I am glad to hear that you had assistance that day.
I believe the mountainside would have been far off worse if it hadn't been for your assistance. Your respect for the mountainside and our tribe is very gratitude and thankful. I am glad to hear of your success in Rosewood as well, keeping the people safe.
It wasn't as successful as we would have liked, but we do what we can.
Of course. We have sent Harem south to Erindren. I believe that's what it's called. The city underneath Celestia.
Mm.
To spread the word.
Rodishan? Rodishan?
Radishan, thank you.
Who do they send?
Harem, the rabbit druid.
Oh, okay.
The Easter Bunny.
Easter Bunny. Was that May? Wow. So long
Yeah,
ago.
that was.
Wild.
How was he doing?
He is good. He has grown stronger with what he has been taught. The stars guide him well. I hope, at least. I'm sure he will bounce his way south quite quickly.
Is the tree that I planted okay?
It grows strong. The leaves have started to sprout. It will be quite a beautiful addition to the mountain.
That's good.
And the spirits that rest there with it, they shall also rest at peace. The corruption that you cleared from our temple has helped the mountain bloom. More of that same plant that you found helpful has grown. If you ever need more.
It's good to know.
I have a feeling we will.
So do I. We have made attention to cultivate it.
I think we may be where we're going for a little bit. Are you able to go gather some and come back in time?
I believe so. I'm not sure how long you plan to stay here, but in a few days' time, I'm sure I could return some. I believe the first crop was going to be shortly available. And as you all kind of discuss a little bit and kind of silence overtakes the night, you can hear the chirping of the insects and the silence of the night as it kind of calms from the excursions and quite the morning that you all had. Tiredness begins to droop on your eyes as it's going quite late, and you're beginning to push that limit of how far you could go in a night before really exhausting yourself, as suddenly you turn a corner and Anais, your heart clenches in your chest for a second. As before you coming around this ridgeline, it's odd. It's almost like deja vu, but different. As home before you begins to appear around the corner, lit in the moonlight. Bushes and vines that have been left unattended now begin to grow up on some of the fences and towers. The large tower that stood as kind of a night's watch now broken and fallen off to the side, blackened by fire. Most of the town roofs have seemed to have collapsed, with the soot and crops that were built in small little patches behind houses now seem to be ashen wastelands. There's a sadness that kind of takes over all of you as you can see what would have been a lively, quaint town hidden among the forest and the mountains. Empty and deserted. And as you begin to enter in, there are different pathways that kind of lead down and around some that leads up towards a house here, a tree here, what looks maybe like a community hall, a path that, as you're going down into like a common area that splits off in 5 directions. Anais, you know, to the south was more of like a shepherd's and a farming area of Farmer Kalen. And you know a young boy similar to your own age that lived in a house near the center named Jalen. Before you all, right on the far side of the center path, is a large, glooming tree that is halfway burned. And underneath it, small, stone-carved tombs. Anais, that you know was aptly named the Tree of Legacies, where the buried and the elders were buried there and honored. Just past it, going down the hill a little bit, you know, was where Bardicdice and who would now become the tribe leader, Alden, lived. But cutting up a stonework path up above that looked over the whole town, you look up and you can see just barely the top of your house as it goes up a hill. That is where we'll take a quick break. We'll come back as you all settle into this town, kind of the taking in everything and the silence, and you know the emotional buildup for Anais and Bardicdice that this must mean. We'll go ahead and come back in about 7 minutes, 9:40 or so. Go ahead and go to the bathroom, stretch a little bit, grab something to eat, and we'll be back for the rest of Fates United. See you guys in a bit. All right. Thank you everyone so much for staying with us at the break. We jump back in as our chosens have entered into Solus Styrum, the town where Anais not grew up as a kid, but later some of her teenage years and later childhood. You guys find yourself in the center now, between 3 different houses, kind of like a common area general store, kind of a, it's kind of hard to tell in the other one. This one seems really burnt down in the middle, but on the side you can see kind of where partial of a windmill was, where maybe some of the wheat was built into bread in like a bakery. And before you, this grandiose tree, halfway burned, potentially either dead or struggling to stay alive, if you guys want to examine it more, but it's pretty solemn here. Bricarius kind of looks over to you, Anais, and just grabs your wrist gently and then signs. Do you want a second to go walk through your house alone? You said earlier you wanted to have a second.
Yeah, she's probably just like looking around at everything and like taking it in, taking note of the things that are burned down. Would you say most of the place is burned down, or is it only like specific?
It seems random, as if like everything was lit on fire and then just like unattended and abandoned. Most of it seems unfunctional, where roofing has been, where like straw and wood and roof has been gone, but there are foundations and some random parts of houses that are left over, stonework that is blackened with soot but still left standing.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of like looking at all of it, and then I like look at him and I sign. Yeah, maybe it's just better to do it.
He just kind of looks to the rest and goes, my former house was down that path. Maybe you all could give me a hand? We can give her a moment. And nods.
Nice. I don't want you to be alone. I want to come with you. I don't want us separating too much. If you don't mind, I can give you some space, but I don't think you should be by yourself.
He like kind of looks around and then he just signs. Maybe that might be a better idea. Just in case.
Okay, there's
I don't
pipes
know if
up
they
too.
trap the house or something.
I can take the girls.
Yeah, that's good. But yeah, I'll come with you and make sure that everything's good.
And of course, if anything, you do find something, he kind of like pretends to pull on a bowstring signal to us.
We'll get you here.
I have my bow out just so it's ready to go, just in case. It'll be real easy for me to.
I pat the sending stone.
Katrina is kind of like held on close to you, Zach, and then with Makai saying that, kind of goes over and holds Makai's hand, and Iris kind of walks up to you and Anais, and she just doesn't really say anything, but she just kind of gives you a really warm hug. Almost like an understanding, but she just doesn't know what to say.
I just put my hand on her head.
Everything will be okay. It's really beautiful here. Mostly.
I'll like walk over and put my hand on a nice shoulder and kind of look her in the eyes, and if you need us, I'll go take care of Vicarious for now, so don't worry about him.
Thank you. I'm sure we're still linked.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
What's the distance on that? The
30
30?
feet, right?
I believe it is currently 50 feet.
What? Did it increase?
It
Nice.
increases by 10 feet every time I gain a level.
Oh.
Dang.
That
Nice.
is amazing.
That's dope. That's super
I
dope.
love that.
So,
Okay.
at the moment, definitely still feel linked if you allow it. You can shut it off at any time, but you get the feeling, for the most part, unless you guys are on like the extreme sides of the houses, mostly you'd be able to stay in contact-ish. They're kind of up a hill, so.
I'll say to Kahu, I think he's still really rocked about Connor. You could watch out for him.
See if I can talk to him about it.
Thanks.
Of course.
You all begin to walk down the path, and kind of again just with a nod and a reassurance that Bardicdice has given you over the past couple months you've known, just kind of like, we're here. Meikai, Kahu, the kids, and Bardicdice, you all begin going to the left, down a little bit around kind of like a twist, and there are two houses there. One totally burned down, and a second which has a kind of like a little field for crops that is totally burned and ashened, but a second house that the front frame is kind of fallen down and there's a large log, but it looks like the back half of the house is fairly safe from the fire. You kind of all walk up, and Bardicdice just seems to be taking it all in. Kind of wheels up towards a tree, and you can see kind of a little heart where it says B plus K, and then a little C underneath, and then kind of like little figures, and you can see where a young boy maybe had carved certain things into the tree of, you know, different things. He kind of looks to you, Kyle, and goes, not quite how I left it, but is there any way you might be able to help me get that piece out of the way?
Absolutely.
Give me a quick athletics roll.
It's a natural 20 for a total of 30.
Very easily. As you kind of pick it up and making sure that the rest of the house is still stable, and it is kind of on foundational stones and logs. You're able to kind of move this out of the way and easily place it off to the side. Cool. And Bardicdice just kind of slowly walks through this house. As you can see, what is very burned in the front, but in the back, kind of a bedroom and a kitchen that is very similar to, very similar in design to what his tower used to look like if any of you had been there before. And he just kind of turns to Katrina and Iris. She goes, so, not as tidy as it was, but this is where I used to live with my own son, my wife. Maybe you two can help me clean it up a little bit, and you can live here with me for now. You just kind of see Katrina looks a little confused and just nods, and Iris goes, yeah, can we have like a garden and we can help you rebuild everything? Just kind of nods, and of course you can. I would love that more than anything. We can make Solstium as bright and beautiful as it was before.
We could plant something right now, girls, if you wanted.
Yeah.
If it's okay with Bri.
He kind of nods. And Iris and Katrina just look over and, what do you mean?
Follow me. I'll show you.
You
I
take
have a
it.
special skill.
Bradcaris kind of points out back. There's like a large area, and you can see where the crops used to be. And you know, when things get burned, there's usually a lot of leftover mineral grounding underneath the ground that you could easily find a nice spot for.
Mm-hmm. Right. Take all the time you need as well.
This is all just material. I'm okay.
Okay. I'll take the girls outside.
And take them out. What are you doing?
So, and I'll take out two little of my little paper dolls. So these seeds, I don't know if I've explained it. They're like little kind of like little cutout like people kind of thing, like little gingerbread men looking shapes out of paper. And it's really thin paper, and there's like a little seed, and one has writing on it already, but it's an infernal, and the other doesn't. But I'll just say, these are wisteria, if you've ever seen that tree with the purple flowers that come down. They're very, very pretty, and they are special to my home country. Have you ever seen them before?
I don't think so. And then Iris is like, "What's your home country? Is it yeah, that one. I could never say it right. I read about it."
And I'll take out my sketchbook too, and I'll like show him a picture, like a drawing of the tree that I did.
Strangers, because that's really pretty. And then Iris, are those whisper trees?
Wisteria, but whispers is a good.
Wisteria. Okay.
They're supposed to be magical in some ways, and they do help. We plant them in remembrance of those who have passed on. So this one says June, and he was someone very special to me. He was my husband, and
you were married?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
One time, long time ago. And the other one, we can put another name on, and we can plant them. And even though I can't visit his tombstone, I plant these in remembrance of him.
I really like that.
Yeah. Is there any name that you want to put on? That you want to honor or anything? Or who do you think maybe we should do for Bry? For his wife? Or Ananias's family?
You see Katrina kind of like go over and like hold Iris's hand, and then like she kind of whispers in Iris's ear. And she just kind of looks over. Do they have to be dead?
No, they don't. Just people that you wish were well. People that you can't maybe see right now, but you want to see again in the future.
She kind of looks over and kind of nods at Katrina. She goes, "Can we put two people's names?"
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mommy, well, not mommy and daddy. No, either wouldn't make sense. Carla and Trenton.
Do you want to write it yourself, or do you want me to write it?
I can try.
Okay. Any language that you know. It's just for fun.
Yeah, you see Iris very elegantly write in Celestial her mother's name. And Katrina, actually pretty decent for her age. A little wiggly. But in common, puts Trenton.
I like it. And there's a special song. I will translate it into Celestial. I usually sing it in Infernal.
No, we want to hear it in your language.
Okay, I can teach you. It's not very hard.
I like music. She's more like magic. I like music.
All right. We can have some accompaniment too. So I'll start my thaumaturgy that I usually do with singing with the notes, and then we'll start digging. So I'll have them help me dig, and then we'll plant it, and then I'll help them get to know the words. And yeah.
Iris takes out, it's not really a ocarina per se, but more of like a piccolo type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of begins to play a decent song that seems to kind of go along, a few wrong notes here and there, but it tends to go along with it. But as you dig down a little bit, you see Katrina, who's been kind of standing behind Iris a little bit, and you see a little bit of a tear show up in her eyes. You obviously recognize kind of the missing of her parents.
Mm-hmm.
But as you do that and you dig down, she reaches over and she points at like a small like water bucket that is filled with water.
Mm-hmm.
And the water slowly forms into the air into a small little ball and guides down and just wets the ground and kind of fills up the spot where you buried the seed. I think that helped, right? Aren't you supposed to water them?
Mm-hmm. Practice that every day.
I try. I can't do as cool things as Zachary does, but
You can probably surpass him if you work hard and you.
yeah,
Well,
right,
right.
okay. Surpass Zachary, sure.
You never know. You can learn from him and you know.
So how fast does it take? Will we see it soon?
How fast do these take?
Tell me. It's your plant.
A magic tree in this world, I don't know. They grow pretty quickly, I know, but I just look over and see Zach is a loser. What a jump.
10 feet per year.
Well,
So about a month.
This time next year, this time, or no, in a month it grows 10 feet?
Well, I'm saying in about a month, you'll see it start sprouting up from the ground.
Okay. Well, just about 1 month from now, you will start seeing it. And in this time next year, if you take really good care of it and you make sure to talk often to it, it'll grow. It'll be 5-10 feet tall, taller than you this time next year.
So if you talk to them, they grow faster? I haven't heard that one.
I do. There's magic in words, right?
That's true.
And these trees, there is a story
I have to
that
fix
if you
that.
talk to these trees, the more you talk, the more beautiful they become.
We need to get Zach to talk more.
Zach isn't a tree.
Well, if it works the same, maybe if, you guys are really talkative and you're really pretty, and, I'm talkative and I think I'm kind of pretty.
You're very pretty.
I mean, Zach's handsome, don't get me wrong, but I mean, we don't want him to turn ugly or anything if he keeps quiet like he does.
Is he always this quiet, even before?
Yeah, a little bit. He likes talking
Yeah.
magic with Grandpa, though.
Well, just keep talking, sending your parents well wishes, talk to the tree as if it was them, and I'm sure that they'll get the message in their hearts, wherever they are, and you'll see them again.
You really think we'll see everybody again?
Yeah,
I really miss them.
sure you do. You're very brave, both of you.
I wish they were here.
I wish my parents were too. I wish June was, and I'll motion to the other one that was.
Give me a perception check.
20.
You feel warmth around your neck where your pendant is.
Oh. Can I look at it, or just like?
I mean, you can if you want, yeah.
Yeah.
It's glowing bright as if moonlight's coming out of it.
Oh. See, there's already magic here.
And around the corner, you see your parents walking around the corner.
My
Mekai?
parents? What?
Mekai? Is that you? Is this real?
Is this real?
They are both actually there.
I'll get up. Hesitantly.
And your mother just runs over to you and just gives you a big hug. We missed you so
Oh.
much, as she just starts crying. What happened? I was just doing the laundry. Singing a little the
Oh.
hum and you.
I was just planting seeds with the girls.
Okay, yeah, you hear it. Okay, I'll be right back. Hold on one second. Let me go to a quick break and turn off the freaking fire alarm.
Oh, okay. I wonder if he muted us or if they can hear us.
Oh, they can
Should we
hear you.
smack talk Let's smack talk that chat.
Okay.
Hello.
I'm trying to earn points with your sister, Zach, apparently.
I don't know what's going on with you right now, but
You're giving them an experience.
I mean, are you even in the same place? Like, so many questions.
All right. We are back. And the fire alarm is
Lit
off.
said he was running around his apartment trying to figure it out.
Gotcha.
It was Bob the whole time.
Yeah, Mekai, you are left there in shock, as it seemed your wish brought your parents to you. As we jump over to Ananias and Zachary, you all go a separate direction as Bricarius and the rest of them go down. Are you saying anything? Or are you just kind of walking forward?
I'm just gonna kind of walk beside her. Just say, you're very brave doing this. But I'm just gonna keep an eye out for anything suspicious.
Anais signs. I'm not quite sure if it's brave. If your sisters didn't need this, I wouldn't be anywhere near here.
Yeah, you don't want to be here. You're still here, though. That's bravery.
Yeah, maybe. That's nice
That's-
to you to say, at least.
It really shows that you are a selfless person.
Thanks, Zach. I'm glad you said you'd come with me. I mean, you probably shouldn't look at me because it's going to be embarrassing. But I'm glad you're here.
I want you to be alone. I know I would go back alone.
Gosh, who knows what they did in it. I don't know.
That's why I'm casting this. And I'm going to cast Detect Magic so it's up
Nice.
as we approach the house.
30 feet?
Let me check the range on that. Detect Magic is 30 feet from me. Yep.
Lasts for 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
Okay.
I'll recast it if I need to also, but
Oh.
to get a full view of the house.
I think I would be like... Oh, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, at the moment, it's just what you guys have on you. There's A big signature from both of your weapons, a little faint from your tattoos, and then her cat's eye, your staff, and then a lot of little ones coming from like your bags and stuff of like the new trinkets you just picked up. But nothing else around you or anything.
While he's doing that, I would like be really keeping my eye out perception-wise, just like trying to see if there's any movement, any trap set up, anything like that. Any even differences of what I would be used to.
Yeah, give me a perception check,
Also,
both of you.
like to investigate the area for anything that looks suspicious.
Okay. Investigation perception check.
I'm rolling horribly.
Ooh, okay,
As you should
19.
be. 19.
Yeah, I know. It's a pretty narrative for sure. I knew that nat 20 would be the only good roll I did for today. 10.
10. Zachary, you kind of start investigating the ground, looking for traps, looking up into the trees, and your 19 allows you to see Dradora and Jarkon in their bird forms, about 50 feet up above you both. Kind of just keeping an eye on everyone, kind of keeping an eye out. Almost feels like security, in a way. Nothing else catches your eye. Anais, as you look around, and as you all both slowly walk your way up these beautiful, beautiful stone steps that have been placed along the path up this hill. The trees, slightly soot and burned, take your attention as you kind of come around a corner to the house. Though you're distracted before you can see anything, as all of a sudden a memory hits you as you see a certain tree. And you can hear, almost as if you're a kid again, you could feel yourself hiding behind that tree, your eyes connecting with Ayan, 20 feet away, hiding behind another tree. And you can see, is it a lead? A lead?
Allied. Yeah.
Allied.
Mm-hmm.
Counting and going 9, 10, here I come, I'm gonna find you guys, as she's running between the trees as you all play hide and seek. And then it kind of flashes back and you're kind of back in the present moment. You continue up the hill towards the house.
Yeah.
Kind of
look at it for a minute and then go up.
Kind of going around a corner as you kind of take a moment. You now come across to more of a plateau cliffside, and behind you the trees kind of open up to this beautiful clearing. Or again, almost as if you can hear it in your ears, your mother, Dulsanra, kind of behind you. No, tuck your elbows in. Bring back the bow, hold it as hard as you can. Keep your aim, eyes on the target. Very good, Anais. Teaching you how to shoot a bow. And you can see, like, in the about 100 feet back, a line of trees that you all used as target practice when your mother first began to teach you how to hunt. Again, you continue walking, and another memory washes over you, almost like waves coming in from the ocean. Almost in a pain in your wrist as you look down, and you kind of crack your wrist a second. And you look up and you can see a tree that you had used to climb as a kid and fell out of when you were a young kid. And you can hear footsteps running out of the house before you as you hear your father quickly coming to your aid, kind of comforting you. Anais, what did I say about climbing? Look, and he kind of taps you on the nose as you're like wiping your eyes a little bit. He goes, it's okay. Just remember, we all falter and fall. But those times we doubt ourselves, we push through and find that we're stronger than we ever thought we were capable of being. Right? You'll be okay, come on. And he kind of picks you up and kind of carries you into the house to get cleaned up. Give me another perception check as you start sitting past this and walking in.
15.
Your foot kind of catches against a brumble of sticks and leaves, and underneath you can see, fallen off of a burned tree, is a swing set. And instantly you can see Allied pushing Ayan in the swing, as Ayan is laughing on a bright sunny day. You just kind of sitting on the front patio watching, kind of working on your bow and restringing it. And slowly you walk up to this wooden house as the trees have kind of bent in over it, some of the vines. And the house is recognizable, but soot and blackened. It's as if the fire started here. The roof in many parts are broken in. You can see a patio and a wide centered room where you knew your father's office used to be, and kind of bedrooms along the other side. You start walking in, and your hand instinctively goes to the door frame where below you can feel the carvings. As you look over and you can see little marks, one a couple inches below your height, says Anais. One even lower that says Allied. And then Ayan. And then Aaron. The shortest up to about your hip. Hip? Yeah, maybe.
He's like 4, so
Close.
whatever, a tall 4-year-old
Sure.
kid.
Thighs, whatever. You're short. Yeah.
Yeah. So the house is burned though.
Very much.
Like
Like
okay.
everything inside, there's nothing left. Almost everything, the furniture, as you can tell, looks like it's been ransacked and then burned, as if people had gone searching through here and took books and silverware and whatever you remember being in here. It's all left in crumbles and soot and fire.
I don't think she expected that. So she's like looking at that it's actually like really destroyed, and her like alertness just sort of drops as she's staring at it, and probably after like a very like long minute of just looking, she sort of signs to Zach, not looking at him, but like kind of to the side. She signs, last I heard it was still standing. It was...
Does any of the fire look like, or the spots that are burned look fresher? Like there have been multiple burnings, or is it all old and pretty uniform?
Old and pretty uniform, as if it started here and then kind of spread through the village. If you investigated further, you'd probably find that other spots also were like originating points, but it all seemed to happen about the same time.
Sorry. I'm sure this is hard to see.
Do you walk in and explore any of the rooms?
Yeah, I would. I was about to say something to him
Sure.
really fast, but
Yeah.
But yeah, I would.
No, go ahead.
So I just she signs. I thought I'd get something back from them. At least a little bit.
Let's look around. Maybe we can find something that wasn't touched.
Okay. No, yeah, no, go on.
Where are you going? You can go to your left where your father's office would be, or to the right through the kitchen and the living area to the back where all of your rooms were. You shared a room with Allied.
I would go to the office first.
Okay. You go, and the two wooden doors, one's kind of off the hinge and the windows are broken, kind of burned. You kind of push through and you look around, and what used to be filled with books and items and rocks are empty. You can see piles of ash and what was his desk burnt and twisted and abandoned. Give me an investigation roll.
Both.
If you're in there with him, with her.
Yeah, he can come with me.
Yeah.
Or you can assist, it's up to you.
16.
23.
Nice. Always leave it to Zach. First investigation.
Anais, you're wrapped with memories of sitting on your dad's lap as he's telling you stories of far off lands that he's imagined and what they could look like.
This was their favorite room in the house. So she's really sad.
You're almost walking over your hands, kind of working across the desk. This is where you guys would stand and he would teach you about rocks and the geology and the stars. And you can look out as all of the windows are opened, as the curtains have been burnt. And you can see, and another memory washes over you as the kids have fallen asleep by a fire, your mother kind of holding Ayan. As you're sitting there with him, as he's pointing up towards the skies and pointing to that same blue and green tear. Think, Anais. Maybe that's what keeps us from the affinities. Maybe other worlds to explore. Maybe one day you will discover the secrets to traveling beyond what we know, see. I study what's below us, the rocks and the arcane, but I always see you looking up to the sky. Follow your heart, and it will guide you to knowledge and adventures. You're my precious. And as it kind of washes back over you, look down, and underneath the soot and wood, you can just see a glint of green.
Yeah, I'll, pick it up.
As you look down and sift through it, you can see what was a display box of different rocks. You know these, and Zachary, as you kind of look over, they're not magical. Maybe that's why they were discarded. But they were each his favorite stones. 4. One that looks like a cat's eye. And 3 others that represented each one of your siblings. I will let you describe them and name them however you wish, Miss Rock Club Girl.
Cool. I'll think about it. I really will. I'll match them up to the best rocks for them.
Zachary, you are over standing a little off near the fireplace that is wood and brick, seems to have covered in black and soot. But your eyes, as you kind of walk over and standing, giving her a moment as she's obviously grieving and having a moment with her memories in the room. Your foot creaks on a board. And you look down, it seems to be a plank with an infinity sign on it. You've seen that in Kellen's notes as well.
Okay. I'll kind of pry up the plank.
And I see you look over as you kind of hear him creaking it up. It's been recently nailed down. You can see a nail that has been removed and nailed back in, removed and nailed back in. And when you do, as you take it out, you see a soot-covered black set of papers, almost kind of like in a journal setup, but it's more just scribble on loose leaf than anything.
Just glance through them, see what they are.
It reads...
I walk over. I'm holding the rocks, but I walk over.
And I'll show her too as she walks over.
You look over and it's not your father's handwriting, but it does have the same symbol that your father put on everything. This little infinity sign. He always spoke to you as the relationship between us and the affinities, between the magical realms and the earth and the sky and the moon and the darkness and the light, and how it all flowed together and continued to work through us and in us and created the worlds around us. But you notice it's not his handwriting. As this one writes, I hope you find this. I hope you come and return. Chosen. The council convenes. And it just says capital of the plains. Ready for war. They must leave the plains to survive. And I will send you all this too as well.
Sure.
They vote to take, either go north and take Giant's Bane, or south for Fusuaga. Connor survived, brought back with him an emissary of Lytus. Arendelle, council member alongside Kellum and Alden. She spoke of protection against the drought. Slowly, one by one, even those that opposed her seemed to begin to agree with her. They've gone to a spot in Gleam Shore where the water runs free for all. A safe spot, an oasis. Near the shore, halfway down the plains. They are reuniting the elves, looking to either attack the fort up north or again down south. They have heard rumors of a split in Fusuaga. They think they are weak, ready for an attack. And it's signed Oghim, who was the former leader of the tribe that kind of assisted your father. You know him pretty well.
Okay, so like Callum took over after him, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. He was an elder. Yeah, he had been the elder before your father had convinced everyone to go to Solastarium, and then he had decided to follow along, but knew that this was Callum's time, and had relinquished leadership, and everyone had voted in Callum. So he was kind of like an advisor, similar to Bricarius, but older and kind of retired, and a friend of the families, very much of protecting of the old way and the traditions, though did not agree at all with the barbaricness and the extremities that Lytus and the other council tribes wanted to resort to. And I will send this to the group.
Thank you.
Zachary, you said you're recasting Detect Magic after it's gone? Zach?
Oh, you muted, Mark.
Yes, if it goes down, I will recast it.
Sure. It's about 2 minutes into your second recasting as all of a sudden a bright sense of magic comes from below and down of a... It's Detect Magic, right?
Yeah.
It's a very, very strong sense of magic, of conjuration, down below where Bricarius' house would be.
Bricarius' house would be?
Mm-hmm. It's like...
It's 30 feet away?
It's about down the cliffside. Yeah, like you guys are like up against his house, but like straight down the cliff. So as you guys kind of curled around, you are now up at the top where the back of his house goes straight down. And if you guys walked out back, you could literally see Makai and all of them in the garden that kind of connects, that you guys look down upon.
Okay.
And then it kind of disappears. It was just like sudden and then disappeared.
I want to walk somewhere that direction just to see if it's still there.
Do you walk out of the office onto the back back patio.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see if it's moving. Like, I want to.
Sure. You look down. You don't sense the magic anymore, but you start picking up Meikai's, like, her elements of magic that she has on her, and you see two tieflings running over and hugging her, and Meikai just like in shock, and the sister's like looking like, what's happening?
Okay. Meikai, you get a message in your head, or you hear it. It's like, what's going on? I just saw conjuration magic happen.
Meikai, what? I do not understand. Why are we here? Where are we?
You're muted, by the way.
Meikai, I can't hear you. You gotta whisper louder back.
You have like
Zach, my parents are
voices
here.
in your ears. You have voices
Yeah.
talking to you. Kahu, you can now hear more voices coming from outside as you're helping Vicarious from the back.
The two tieflings, they're within range, but they're not showing as magic, right?
They are within range, not showing any sort of magic. They very much look elder and what would be the equivalent of like an old age on tieflings.
I'll make sure it's not like someone changing shape.
Oh, of
I
course.
mean, they're
Yes.
not
No, definitely.
real. They're
They are not in
What?
disguise.
It's
A
not
few
like
different levels. Multiple games.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know?
So yeah, are you okay? What's going on? Your
My
parents?
parents are here. I'm also saying out loud and crying into my.
I'll just say that to Anais, like, that guy's parents are here. I think they just poofed into here somehow.
And Ice was like staring, like very, like, you know, like wheels clicking at the paper, and then she just looks up, kind of like. Sorry, no,
Solastirium.
Hey!
Not Redden. Sorry.
No, Moon Lady.
Friends on the other side.
Redden's just like, this is so great that they're together again and planning stuff. I love it.
The moon is awesome.
You can see it through his spirit realm walk that he's on.
Yeah, there you go.
Brian, should we go see what that's about?
Yeah. What was that? And he's like, did you feel that? Some sort of magic.
Did I feel anything?
Give me Arcana roll.
See if you Arcana feel it.
Well, that's all the time we have tonight for Fates United.
That's a 20.
Very much so. There's a tingle that kind of runs over your whole body, and that same feeling as you kind of get as you jump into the spirit realm sort of thing, the same sort of transportation-esque magic feels similar in nature, but not quite the same.
Yes, I felt something.
Yeah, I can hear voices. Let's go check what's happening.
Well, yes, I'm pushing you out.
Yeah, Vicarious is like trying to roll it faster. Before we get into that and jump back, Anais, Zachary, you're outside. Anais, is there anything more you wish to do? I don't want to cut your scene quite short. I know it's a lot of stuff going on, but just wanted to give you a chance to wrap up anything else you want to do, or
Yeah. At the house in general, I'm assuming.
you can always come back to it. But yeah, just in the moment, if you check in and don't want to stay with them, it's fine. I just wanted to kind of wrap up your moment. I didn't want to cut you short.
Yeah. I'll like be still holding the papers, but I'll sign to Zach.
Foot's creeping up again.
Why?
I didn't know. I've been drinking lots of water.
Uh-oh.
Some bananas.
I have a banana on my microwave. I can see it. I'll get it later.
It's so close, but so far.
So far. Jedi! God, Viri let me down.
Come on. I would sign to Zach. Should we go down or should we finish things here?
I mean, I think we can finish things here. Meika is having a moment with her parents. I don't know. I'm confused.
Me too.
They
I
don't
kinda
seem
don't-
like I'm looking at them. They're not attacking or anything. So
They're hugging, fussing over her. One saying, "You need to eat more." And oh my gosh, I'm so happy you're still here. We've been hearing things.
yeah, if you want to stay here, we can stay here. If you need more time.
If we can just finish this really fast, I don't want to come back here.
Yeah, let's
I
do
don't
that.
think I'll come back if I leave now.
Let's finish this.
Okay. You should tell the others about this too. To call
Yeah.
up the papers.
That's major.
This is concerning.
Very.
I would just probably check the bedrooms and see. If
Yeah,
there's
there's
anything
nothing
there.
else in the office. Zachary, your heart breaks as you can see just partial bindings of books that have been burnt and left. And there's years of research that has been either taken or burned, and just left in tattered ash. When I see you go through in the kitchen, dishes have been broken down and left astray. The food has been taken, and you go to the beds, and even the bedrooms, the smaller beds have been flipped over, and the decorations that abided here were burned. Paint that is curled up, and the different murals that your younger sister painted are kind of peeling off. Give me another investigation check.
$11.
18.
You both kind of split off for a second, and I see you walk into your room. Zachary, you kind of walk into what you can somewhat tell are the younger boys' room. And you find a small doll, half burned. And I see you walk in, you don't really find anything, but in between where the bed and your sister's bed would have been, you notice pushed down in between the planks in the corner is a small like little dagger. And you notice it as a dagger you used to have and love as a kid that you just lost. It seems that your sister had held on to and kept by her side of yours.
I take it back. And I just kind of like smile at it a little bit, and then I just put it in my bag.
Sure.
If the
Yeah,
doll
nothing else
is decent enough looking, I'll prestidigitation clean it up to make it look as nice as I can get it.
Sure. It's button's been burned off, but I mean you kind of clean the soot off and some of the red yarn has been burned off the top, but the doll otherwise is in decent condition. And I see you quickly recognize it as Aen's like doll that you took everywhere. Like nothing kept him from that doll except
Happens.
leaving the house. You remember? Yeah,
go
I mean, no.
No.
Nope. It was a little dark. No, I'm not going anywhere else with that.
You can all fill in the gaps here.
You can imagine what else is going on, yeah.
Yeah, I take it and I just kind of like press it to my face. Just kind of like this.
Give me a perception check with advantage.
What's 17 plus 9? I can't
A lot.
manage now.
26.
26.
At first, you just smell soot and smoke. But all of a sudden, you get past that and you could just briefly, as if you're giving him a hug, smell your brother's hair.
I just leave it there for a second. It's probably awkward because she's like standing in silence with it like that. And then she puts it in her bag.
Fortunately, that's about
Thank you.
all you find here.
She signs to Zach. Thanks for finding this. It was Aaron's favorite.
Really sorry.
She signs. I'd hoped it was still okay. I feel like your sisters would have liked all the lights close, because she just liked that sort of stuff, and Iris would have liked all of the boys' toys.
Not fair what happened to you.
I didn't think stuff would matter. Guess it does.
He'll kind of move over to her to offer up like a hug.
She hugs him. She's too sad to pretend like she doesn't want it. She probably even cries. I think she didn't think that this would happen, so she's pretty thrown off.
Stop them.
You guys have a moment as nice. You forget the warmth of a hug and the memories of just washing over you of your family and the times you had here and the innocence that has been ripped away from you. It doesn't help. It doesn't close any wounds, but it makes it just that much more bearable.
Stop them, nice.
The signs will stop them, and we'll make sure you don't have to do this. Go through this. This won't be you. That's all I'm saying.
Appreciate that.
Give me perception checks, both of you.
12.
22.
Anais, you hear the slight, familiar, warm rumbling of thunder in the distance. And you turn your eyes to the sky, and Zachary, you follow her gaze, and you can see a shooting star move past the sky, similar to the rumble. And you both feel just that moment connection to your affinities, as both of your affinity symbols just lightly glow and then fade. As if you're being told you're not alone in this.
There we go.
Both has always been there. Souls too, apparently.
Yeah. Whenever you're ready to move out with you.
I don't think I'll be back. Let's go. Thanks for being here.
I'll always be here for you.
Same.
And then we'll walk back together.
Do you look back?
Maybe once.
Gonna make your way out to the steps and just falter and look back, and for a second it just looks like home. But then it goes back to the dark, sooted, burned down house. As you turn back around and head down the stairs, as now a small commotion of crying and
Whatever the
hugging
heck is
and
going on.
whatever the heck is happening downstairs.
Well, I wasn't gonna cry for the reunion, but I cried during Anais' thing, so right now. A lot of feelings, thank you.
I saw Mike wiping away tears.
Yeah.
Your mother is now just not letting you go, and just what happened to your horns? They're purple now. You need to eat. And she like goes into her bag and she seems to like have like a small wrapped up like like sandwich. It's just eat please. It's so good to see you. What have you been up to?
I don't know why you're here.
I don't know either, but bless the affinities.
That's
And your father's like, I don't know where we are, so, but
we're in Solistierum. It's an elvish settlement that's very north, very far away from home.
There's a little bit of like a ooh elves from your dad. As Kahu and Bardicdice come out, and the girls are just sitting there like, I don't know what's happening. And Bardicdice,
Oh, I guess you're
go ahead.
talking in Infernal most of the
Yep,
time.
totally. The girls kind of walk over and are kind of like grabbing Bardicdice's hand, and
let's switch to common.
Bardicdice is just like, he actually answers in Infernal. He's like, you can have your moment. This is your parents?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know. My necklace glowed and they were here. We
Okay.
were planting wisteria trees and, I don't know. Is this Lune's doing?
Are you saying this now in Infernal or Common?
Common.
Common. Iris is just sitting there and she goes, maybe you wished for it. Maybe she gave it to you.
Maybe. Mom, Dad, this is, Bardicdice and Kahu and Iris and Katrina, and we have 2 other friends who are somewhere else right now.
You made friends. That is wonderful, dear.
I'll walk up and offer my hand to like shake.
The old man kind of goes and greets you with a firm handshake and just goes,
Yeah, they're not that old.
Can I insight check?
they
to see
look
if this
much
all
older than the
feels-
last time you saw them, Makai.
That's fair.
I want to insight check this moment.
Sure, give me an insight. Makai, when I'm telling you they look older, they look much
They look
older.
Okay.
Very much
Okay.
older than you remember they should look like.
That's a natural 20.
They are in shock
25.
and yeah, you don't feel any sort of misgivings. They're just happy and in shock, and
But this feels like even the handshake and everything, it all feels real.
yes,
Doesn't
there's no
feel like
illusions,
anything.
there's no disguises happening as far as you can tell. You do see Bardicdice do a bit of a flicker similar to what Zachary does, and he just kind of gives you a nod as well, like it's almost like a looks fine to me.
Why do you look like you've aged so much?
Oh, things have changed in Hanosuka, dear. There's darkness and growth. Things are dying. We're growing older. We don't understand. We've tried to keep out on the outskirts in our farm, but those that go
Yeah.
closer to the city are Rumors of darkness in Hanazuka.
I'll look at Kahu and Bri.
This is about the
Oh.
time that Zachary and Anais come around the corner as well.
Oh, Zachary and Nias. These are my parents. But they say that there's a lot of darkness in Hanazuka and they've aged a lot.
Your father kind of goes over and whispers to you in Infernal and goes, "Is this one of the elves that you're speaking of?"
Yes, this is. She doesn't speak, she signs.
They're not going to attack us, are they?
No!
I'm just saying, there have been a lot of attacks on the valley by elves lately. I'm just...
Mother, father, this isn't back in Infernal. I'm a chosen of Lune.
Yeah, your mom just does not know how to react, and your father just... I knew you were special, Mekai. I knew you had purpose to your trip and what happened to you. I have prayed every day for this.
Oh, I just don't know what to say. Back in common.
Precarious just kind of... You seem like looking at everyone just like... Do you want to come in and have some tea? You feel like this like awkward, like, do I host now? I don't know what to do.
Anais, like, it looks like she was tracking the whole conversation in Infernal. And she doesn't even really say anything. She actually is gonna start, like, looking around to see, like, if there's any sign of, like, what's going on beyond.
Besides Zachary, there's absolutely no understanding of what you have of what's going on. I'm not even sure to give you a roll for it. I don't think there's anything within your skill
There's no
set.
explanation. Okay.
Zach is going to approach her parents and say, Vaska, Curie, nice to meet you.
They kind of look over at you, Mekai, and there's a little hesitancy as, you know, there's a bit of bad blood between ASMRs and tieflings.
Okay, look. You said you are happy that I have friends. This is one of them. Be nice.
Oh, of course, yes, definitely. Your mother just slowly takes your hand and just gives you a quick little shake. And
Out of this entire group, I'm the most dangerous, so...
he looks pretty big. You are a sweetheart to make out. You couldn't hurt a fly. I know that.
Alright, let's go inside.
I love that little bit of regressing of like, glad to see you, but like, okay. Thanks, Mom.
You knew it,
Sets it quickly.
That awkward family meal where you find your parents are kind of racist. You're like,
Just like, I'm so sorry. And if Nanias knew Infernal, she heard that entire thing about the elf.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Rikair's just like, come on in. We have plenty of food, right, Kahu? We have food left over. Not in that bag.
We have-
We had the other bag, right?
Yes, we have plenty.
Food.
Zachary, Katrina, and Iris are both, or especially Katrina's just kind of coming up to you and hugging you. Iris just kind of walking over. She goes, "Did you see that, Anais? You Chosens are so cool."
Anais is still looking like confused, like she doesn't know if she should be concerned or like happy for Mekai, so she just kind of like nods, and she'll actually write what happens.
As this is all happening, Mekai, your mother's like grabbing your back, kind of scratching a little bit. She and like poking at your side. She's like, "You're so skinny. We need to come. We eat now." And your father's walking over to Barkir. He goes, "I have, Nasuka and teas we can share. It's in my pocket. It's very good, actually."
Everything's in your pockets. It's a family thing.
Pocket family. You don't think I'd leave that out?
That explains some things.
Anais. Iris kind of sees that and kind of talks back. She goes, I don't know. Just Makai was we are planting like family prayer seeds or something for the Whisper area. And she started singing a song, and I think her chosen powers brought her family here. I was kind of hoping Mom and Dad would come too, but I guess her prayer like worked better than mine did. No, but I'm like really happy for him though.
She writes, how do you think it was her chosen power? Any reason? Or just a yes?
I mean, she said she was singing and her tattoo glowed and her pendant glowed. And then poof, her parents showed up.
Do I know anything about her pendant? What pendant?
The one Car gave me. I've just been wearing a little silver moon.
Actually, the one your father gave you.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, I guess I'd be wearing that too. I forgot about that one.
Okay.
Okay, so a pendant.
It's not like it gave you all important pendants or tattoos in the first sessions.
Okay, so Anais just kind of nods. And I actually want to like go up to Makai, and I'll be like pointing to her pendant, like I want to see it.
Sure.
It is completely inert of any light warmth that it had before. And Makai, you even notice you always have felt some sort of connection, especially after becoming a chosen, and especially after getting the tattoo, a connection to it. Especially when you pray, and there's absolutely no connection to it anymore.
Was there magic inside of this thing?
Can I like roll a con on it or anything?
You can attempt to. You're not proficient, are you?
No.
Yeah, you could definitely try.
Or give it to Zach.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's fine for now. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely go ahead and roll first. I want to let you try.
10.
It's a beautiful pendant.
I'm like tugging on Zach's shoulder, like, or his like sleeve. I'm like, look at this, and like guiding his hand over to the pendant.
Is this supposed to be magic or something?
I feel like at one point it might have been. I've said a lot of wishes, so I don't know why now.
Zachary, you have noticed in the past that has glowed, the cat eye has glowed, Kahu's tattoo has glowed, and your staff has glowed similarly. But if with your secondary detect magic, it's not glowing anymore.
Well, what did it glow before?
Conjuration. All 4 of them are conjuration. And then some of them are tied in with other stuff too.
So
I'd have to look them up.
I mean, I saw it was magic before, and then I saw conjuration. So you must have done something. You can take it off, and I can try to take a look at it.
Yeah.
And I will spend 10 minutes identifying this.
Sure. I can start a fire if you want to heat up whatever you have with you. Yes, the very good Hanazuka tea. Everybody must try it. It's very good. As your mother and father basically taking over kind of the hosting here, and your mother is taking meats out and kind of sprinkling spices that she still has on with you. And there goes my ring light again because it always falls. But yeah, after about 10 minutes, and Makai, you are forcibly put a few plates of food in front of you and told to eat, and everyone is kind of just, tell me how you've been, and how was the Centaurium, and you must have learned so many good things there. And let's maybe not speak of that. We have heard rumors. I don't know. You're okay? Yes?
Yeah, I'll just go over and recite yada 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 and all the stuff. Mention Car and
there's the appropriate emotions at everyone, and your mother gives you a warm hug, and there's tears in her eyes as you tell her about Car as well, and she goes, I am so sorry. And give me an insight roll on your dad.
Tell me me your secrets, Dad. 18 plus 6. 24.
You get a sense of like sorry you've gone through this, but also that like fatherly protective of like another guy that has potentially hurt you. It's very protective and fatherly of like there was June and this guy must have done something wrong too to deserve what he got. You know, like there's just a very fatherly
My parents are on
protective
my
vibe.
side.
Very much so. But yeah, Bardicdice, you know, begins to explain that he was a teacher there and how you all became chosens and arrived. And Zachary, your Katrina falls asleep against your side, and Iris is just kind of next to you, Anais, just kind of like asking you questions like, what does that mean? And what was that? And whose car? And like, who's Carlos?
I would
And like,
welcome the distraction. I'll just.
I
yeah,
figured as much, yeah.
I'll hang out with her.
It's about that 10-minute mark. Zachary flashes his staff for a second, and there's a bright yellow light that kind of just emanates the room as you all look over. You say you're casting Identify, right? It
You're muted.
Yep.
Yes.
does not have, it doesn't exert any sort of properties anymore. And your Identify wouldn't detect what a magic item or a scroll would have casted if it's already been spent, would it?
I mean, it says if it has any charges left, like it would say how many charges it has left.
Okay.
So if it's magic at all,
0. It's
Maybe?
totally inert. However, you notice through your identification that the stone in the pendant. Hold on. Let me check something real quick.
yeah, some magically imbued object, properties, and how to use it.
It matches the rocks that you have. I'm trying to remember if you have the moon one. Where
We
am I?
don't yet.
You don't. Okay.
Mountains and Radashan.
It matches the same properties as those rocks, but any sort of magical essence has been exerted, and there's no charge to this.
Interesting.
What's up?
Just seems connected to.
Don't say what's up. That is in play.
It's fine.
Is it because I live in the sky? It's not offensive to me. It's fine.
No. It is not you. It is my daughter. We have more manners than just say what's up. It is proper.
Exactly.
What do you mean?
What?
You're training. You know better than this, Make. I am
That's
channeling my
weird.
Filipino mom hard right now, by the way.
Anais hears in her head, I can see where she gets it from.
Nice. It's like, it all connects. It's all starting to make sense.
He doesn't dare say that out loud, though.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
What is going on?
Pale Meikai's mom is essentially a Filipino mom equivalent.
It seems connected to the stones that we are in search of.
Did I just accidentally use it?
I mean, did you intentionally use it?
No, like I
Then
said,
yes, you accidentally used it.
we were planting wisteria trees, and I was teaching your sisters the songs, and then we were talking about family, and then I said, "Oh, they said that they wish that your parents were there." And I said, "Oh, yeah, I can understand that. I wish I could see my parents again too someday." And then my parents appeared.
See, I told you she said that. And Iris
Yeah,
just
you're
kind of
right.
pipes up.
Anybody else have any other magic items on them that I have not identified yet?
And I like points to her thing, but
You
You want me to look at that real quick, just in case you say I wish and all of a sudden, or you think I wish?
I said I wish a lot of stuff, believe me.
Actually, you have not.
I point to my
because
tattoo.
I have been quite attentively paying attention to everybody. And I have had NPCs say it to try and get people to say something. So no, you have not. Not at least in game.
Anais will sign. You can look at it, but can you? I don't want to take it off.
This is gonna be weird, but okay. I'll just cast it normally. I'm not gonna do
10 minutes, just his hand on your neck.
I'm just gonna do the minute one, not the 10-minute one, because it's already weird enough it's a minute.
Iris starts
Hold
giggling
on,
a little bit.
And I look at Iris and I'm like,
You always do it. She just signs. Sorry, it's really important to me. I just really don't even want to take it off once.
We're good.
Iris just mouths to make. They're so cute. You cast Identify as well, and you firstly identify that the cat's eye is definitely magical and arcane, connecting to the Lotha sky affinity. There's a subtle aspect to it, an enchantment that has been added that allows her to cast any spells with the subtle attribute, so she doesn't have to use material or is it somatic, I think, or no, verbal, material or somatic. Whatever the subtle meta magic is, it's the same exact thing. But there's a secondary, what you equivalent to a wish spell charge.
So it seems like you have a wish charge as well. Detect magic. Anybody else have anything else? I have not checked at this point.
Like the
Wasting my
actual
parents?
wish spell,
I'll
or
pull my
like
pet.
a wish?
I'll pull my tattoo out. And
You
I'll
don't know.
Okay.
turn it into a bead.
Sure.
oh, a bead. I heard a bead.
Ritually do identify on your tattoo bead.
10 minutes later, seriously, eat everybody, and there's tea now that you can try. It's very nice and has like flakes of like wisteria in it.
If you don't want to eat, just leave stuff on your plate.
Yeah, Kaho, you had like finished your plate and like instantly there's a second plate full now on it again. It's very Italian-esque with the food. You cast it. It is identified as the... It doesn't... You're having a hard time understanding the quite direct translation or understanding of the Fusuagan explanation of it, but essentially it's like a second level from the top charge of protection and defense, and it also has a wish charge to it that seems directly related to the water affinity.
Zach steals it on his arm and no, he gets it back.
It's mine now.
For a second you just see this big old tattoo, just sleeve arm on Zachary's. It hurts like to take it off though.
I didn't do that. I would joke about stealing his tattoo.
I would love to see that from Zachary though, I won't lie.
No, he would not do that to Kyle. He would give it back and say, yeah, you got a wish too.
Nice points to Zach.
I mean, I feel like I've looked at everything I have, so...
Maybe say I wish and see what happens.
I mean, I don't want to just waste something like that.
Yeah, I did indeed. I mean, I'm happy. But
Yeah,
there's
your
other
parents
things.
are here.
They are here.
You should be very happy.
I feel like there's been more helpful wishes other than getting full.
Mekai.
I'm not hungry.
Huh. You don't want to see your mom? Sorry, that's a little Filipino. You don't want to see your mother?
I do, and I'm actually very glad you're out. I don't think you should be going back to Hanasuka.
I agree.
You shouldn't go back. I'm actually happy that you're here.
I don't know where we are going to go, so that's
Stay here.
home.
Stay here with Bri and help watch over the girls and
You see them both just kind of give a stranger look over to Bricarius, kind of like,
Bri has saved my life on multiple accounts.
I'm not being judgmental of him. I don't know him very well. I don't want to impose. Bricarius goes, I mean, really, it's not really. You have a whole village that we can spread out upon if you want. I mean, it's not really imposing. I don't even really live here anymore. It's kind of.
Anais signs for them, like for someone to say to them. Did you say that there were elven raiders in your city?
Yes, there have been recent attacks, though not for the past week or so, but increased activity of elves attempting to raid our outskirts of the livestock and crops that the farmers bring to the town. Ours have been attacked a few times itself, but some of the younger men have been able to fight them off.
And I sense you have a right to be cautious. Brian and I don't take to that way, but many do.
We don't judge anybody. We all can choose which side we are on. I apologize for our uncautiousness. Common is not my first tongue. I apologize. If you are a friend of Mekai, then you are friends of mine, of course. I'm sure you all have been quite good friends of hers. And you are very close now that you are chosen. It's very good. Very happy for all of you. You must be the bestest of friends.
Worse.
Mekai, don't let your mouth drop. You keep it shut. It's rude. Good. Yes, you look so pretty. It's around that point, I think. I think we'll, unless there's anything really urgent you guys want, I think this is probably a good stopping point, at least for now, for next week. Is there anything else you guys specifically want, or we'll let you process and then continue conversations next time?
Yeah, I mean, I think Anais would indicate to the four that we need to talk about something.
I figured, yeah.
Later, but it's a little chaotic right now, so she's not going to bring it up at the moment.
There's a lot of different conversations to be had, for sure. I think that is where we will, go ahead and wrap up tonight's episode, as a lot of things that I was not expecting to happen tonight happened tonight. So yeah, you guys ended up uncovering quite a bit of information here at Solastirium, discovering certain properties of the affinity elemental tokens that all of you have had since the beginning of the game, and really turns the game on its head a little bit at this point. So I'm excited to see where we go next week. We'll probably still be in Solastirium for a little bit, and wherever you guys choose to go from there, and what you choose to do with the information you have found, the time you spend here, we'll go over that next week. Thank you everyone for joining us. We love you so much for all of the amazing support you've given us. We have Fates next week. We have the Bad Punchlines, the Feywild campaign, starting next Wednesday, same time on same channel. We have Beacon's Aura this Sunday. We have Rachel's Gaming on Saturday. We got our art stream. We got D's art stream. I'll probably be gaming tomorrow. We got content for you everywhere.
Isle of Monsters too.
Isle of Monsters starts this Monday, right? Was it this Monday? Nice. Yeah, so Rachel and Zachary will be playing in Isle of Monsters over on Sip.
You called him Zachary.
Master
I'm Zachary
General.
now.
You're fine. I do it to Sev, I do it to everybody. Which
Mark was calling Silent Sev the other day too. It was great.
Yeah.
dang it did work. Did that work? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Is he still on?
No.
Okay, I was going to raid him. Hops and Dragons are on. We'll go raid them. Why not? So thank you guys so much. We'll be live next Thursday, or you can check the VOD and catch up on other episodes on YouTube and in the VOD. So Hops and Dragons. I will probably I'm thinking about going live tomorrow during the day for some gaming, just because I got nothing to do. And so I'll have you guys vote maybe in the Discord for what you want me to play. So did it work? Okay, yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much. Again, we'll go ahead and raid Hops and Dragons. And as always, we'll send over the Bardic Barrage. You guys are amazing. You show me the love and respect, and let's show them the love and respect as we show each other, as we build this amazing community built on D&D. Thank you guys so much. I love you. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Go.